Welcome to this special live stream. This is the HEX Late Show. I've got Blue Bum with me here.
What's up?
How are you, mate?
I'm very good. Pretty exciting, hey?
And PulseChain is live.
PulseChain is live.
It seems surreal. It seems surreal. We've been waiting for what seems like a lifetime. It seems like a very long time. And at the same time, sometimes when I think about it, it doesn't seem like any time at all.
Yeah.
We've got PulseChain. It's live. So if you, mate, you've got some nasty.
You've got sound bad,
nasty
does it?
Background noise. Yeah,
yeah. I'm not sure I can do much about it because it's like the place where they have internet is where the air conditioning is kind of as well. You know what? I'm gonna move. I'm gonna see if I can go somewhere else. I'll be back. Hang on.
No worries. I'm just going to mute you, Blue Bum. Let me know when in the private chat when you want back in. Okay, PulseChain is live. So this means that this is the biggest airdrop in crypto ever. The biggest airdrop in crypto ever. So what do I mean by that? If you're just tuning in and you don't know what we're talking about, what has happened is PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum with system state, which means that if you had ERC20 tokens or NFTs or anything at all, basically on Ethereum, you're going to have a copy of it on PulseChain. Now, I already know what your first question is. What are they going to be worth? Well, we don't know. We don't know what they're going to be worth, but we're going to find out soon. We are going to find out soon. Let's bring up Jexa. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Much happier today than I was yesterday. This has brightened my day immensely.
Been a long time coming, hey? Everyone's had to be very, very patient for wasn't quite 2 years, was it? Very close.
Well, we've been talking about it for 2 years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because before PulseChain, there was a sacrifice, right? So we were talking about the sacrifice for a while. That was
I'm just
so
that was July, wasn't it? Is that correct? Have I got that right?
The sacrifice was July, but we were talking about the sacrifice for a while before it. So
true.
I think it's fair to say that we've been anticipating the launch of PulseChain for a couple of years. That's for sure.
And
that's for sure.
And it's brought about many interesting turn of events. We've seen some people handle that delay with a bit of grace, some not so graceful. But it's it's been interesting and probably I think the delay probably let a few things slide into the community that probably wouldn't have if it had been launched a little bit sooner, but that's okay. It's all part of growing.
Hey, it's all a part of the process, and I think what Richard Hart has put together. I mean, by the way, I haven't even played on PulseChain yet. I haven't even gone on and done anything yet, so I'm not in a position to say anything apart from what I did on testnet version 4, which I assume is exactly the same
for the most part.
So have you been on? Have you played around with?
A lot
with
actually.
PulseChain?
Yeah, a lot. I've been very, very busy on it today. Had a lot of things that from an administration point of view, I had to tick boxes off and get things done and do some distributions and things like that. So there was a lot that I had to take care of and do that in a pretty prompt fashion. So I've done all that. Part of the things I was using today, so I've had contracts built on Ethereum that have forked across, and I've used those to do what I needed to do today. So everything's just been really, for me, been pretty seamless. What was a letdown, and it's been a letdown for a while, but what was a letdown for me, and this is nothing to do with PulseChain, This is the interface, the Web3 wallets that we use. We haven't got one that ticks all the boxes at the moment. MetaMask does some really funky shit, especially when you're using multiple hardware wallets. You connect to a site and then it locks it to that particular device. And when you go in with another device, you can't use MetaMask anymore. And
there's a workaround. The workaround around that, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt, is to use like multiple profiles.
That's not fair. It's shit, man. That's not the way to do it.
It's not from an OPSEC perspective. It's probably better to do that than to be plugging and unplugging multiple. I mean, depending on what you want what you want these third-party wallets to know about what you're doing.
Yeah, correct.
So from that perspective, it might be better.
It'd be nice to have the choice, though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, go on.
Yeah, so there was MetaMask, which has got its little problems. So then I've also got another profile running with a block wallet in there, and block wallet's got some really cool features. It's probably more user friendly. You can have multiple devices connected to it, and it doesn't.
I was trying to convince you about block wallet a while back. So you finally,
you haven't got the butt yet. So
yeah.
But
there are buts.
That thing there just crucifies your processor to the point where it locks up machine, and it's just shit. It can't handle it really well. So that's got its fair share of problems. Can't connect to go.hex.com with it. Just doesn't support it. So things like that, which is okay. You can use the OCOSA front end to work around that. So every time I've got to do all these little shitty workarounds because there's not a nice unified interface. The best one out there, and I've banged on about this for a while, is Rabby, but it doesn't support. It doesn't support PulseChain, and you can't do custom networks at the moment. There's just no solution.
You can't put a PulseChain in there.
No. You can change your RPC settings, but it won't let you put a new network in. So you can have custom RPC settings, which is good, but not a new network. So so hopefully, and this is a call out to everyone listening as well. Get onto the Rabby guys on Twitter and all that, and just hit them up about supporting PulseChain, because man, it is a beautiful wallet to use. But we just got to get them to put in the RPC connection for us. Is Bluey trying to join? Is he?
He was trying to join. He joined in, but it actually wasn't too bad, Bluey. If you're listening, it's just that I think you had some people talking in the background, which didn't sound great. But see how you go, mate. If you can find this is Bluey. If you can find the place to stream, mate, come back on. Let us know what you think about this launch. So you've been on there, and it's just the whole wallet thing makes it tough.
Yeah, that was annoying. But like once you get all connected up, and look, I managed to do everything I needed to do. I was dealing with probably, I'm saying 15 or 16 different addresses across different wallets and so forth. And I only had one hung transaction on a particular wallet, which seems to be something that a lot of people had an issue with. And I think that boiled down to an RPC issue in the Europe region.
So you can get around that by using a VPN. As far as I understand. If you have you tried Frame wallet?
Frame, I think I had a bit of a look at it. I may have had a cursory look at it and didn't go any further, but I haven't used it in anger.
Use it. It's a totally different experience, that one.
Yeah.
But to what we're used to. So it's not like there is an extension, but the extension connects to an app that's operating outside of the browser.
Oh,
so it's a different.
That's another thing. Rabby has just released a desktop app as well, and you can actually import all your dApps into the desktop, into the app. I haven't played with it. Just sort of been a bit distracted. And if they were going to support PulseChain in there, I'd be onto that straight away. But that's something that I'll check out.
Is it open source?
I think it is, yeah. Yep. I believe it is.
Cool.
Yeah. So
a big hello to everyone in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Look, we know, Jexer and I know that Hexo is doing a 24-hour stream. We're not trying to step on anyone's toes here. What we're doing is more. I'm of the belief that more channels streaming about PulseChain launch is better on YouTube and better on these streaming platforms. It's just a better thing to be happening out there from like just your random people who are, having a look at what's going on YouTube. So the more people who are talking about, if you want to go, if anyone out there is thinking about it, jump on and start streaming, because I think it's better for algorithms to have, things like PulseChain showing up as live streams.
Yep. Now it looks like there's some good tips coming through in the chat as well. That if you're in the UK region and you're having issues, just to hotspot through your phone. Don't know why that makes a difference, but obviously it does. Must pop out somewhere different. Apparently that issue's fixed, but I was still having, up until probably 40 minutes ago, I was still having issues, and I switched to, I was popping out of a VPN in Singapore and it was working fine. So yeah, you may just have to tweak things a little bit.
So I should probably get some sort of screen thing that comes up that says pulsechain.com.au.
Yeah, see if you could do it.
.au, not .au. Pulsechain.com. I wonder if pulsechain.com.au actually exists.
So someone might have had that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Did you give it up?
I think I let it lapse recently. I don't know if it's still available. I'll have to have a look. I could probably re-enable it now.
Yep. So yeah, what do you think? Like, so people are going to be wondering what are they going to do right now that this thing is launched. So I'll tell you what I've done. Okay, I've done absolutely nothing. That's how critical I feel it is to jump on and do stuff. Like, I'm not in the same position as Jexer. Jexer I know you had some administrative things to handle. I've done nothing. I don't think it's, and look, I know there are going to be some people who are doing this ratio trading on PulseChain right now because there is no link to an outside value. So right now you're just trading ratios between ticker symbols. And I know that some people are going to make out really well doing that, but most people will probably not. Most people are probably going to fail badly by doing that.
So what I've seen, things are pretty stable. So the pulse to PulseX ratio is circa 1 to 3 and has been pretty consistent. Now I've seen someone jagged, they got a trade at, I think it was like 1 to 5,000 and something. So they managed just to jag one pulse for 5,000. Got you 5,000 PulseX, which was that's not bad going. I don't know how much they capitalized on that. So yeah, I haven't seen a great deal of that going on. I'd done a bit of a smash and grab on stables and got what I could out of the stable pools. Wasn't anything earth shattering. On one of them, I done okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular. That's what you'd sort of expect. I think all the main. Sorry, you go.
Do you think a lot of people, like the people who've got ERC20s that are not HEX or anything like HEX related in the ecosystem, do you think a lot of those people are just going for the pulse? Like, because there'll be liquidity pools for like I'm assuming the AMM bot has done its business,
Yep.
and the liquidity pools are now set to whatever ERC20 token it was paired to ETH. Now they're paired to Pulse on the Pulse side.
Yep.
So do you have people just gone in and, like, from what your understanding is, have people just gone in and swapped their PRC20s for Pulse?
I haven't seen. I don't know what people are doing, but for me, with the stable coins, that was a no-brainer. Just move it into something I knew was going to be around. That was PulseX, and I didn't. Did I pick up any HEX? I don't think I picked up any HEX. I took Pulse and PulseX out of the pools when I could, but there was no. It wasn't like you're getting any special deals because it routes through everything anyway. So you weren't getting any. There was no benefit to getting Pulse or PulseX. It was just I just done it for a bit of diversity and picking up a few different things. I'm sure everyone else, like if you're, this is not a bad thing. If you're holding Link or whatever it is you're holding, and you go across to extract that value, you haven't got many places you can extract it to. You can go to the native coin, and if you're smart enough, PulseX or if you're Hexagon, you'd probably be pretty keen on HEX. There's nowhere else I can see that you would go to. If your sole intent was to extract value, you would put it into the native token. So I think that's a good thing. Because what it means is, people may come along and they'll dump their alts, but they'll end up with Pulse, and they mightn't be so quick to get rid of that. And we've got to wait for bridges to fire up, and that might be the thing that is the sticky part. They come across to extract some value, but then go, you know what? I might just let this run and see what happens. I've got it for free. Let's just see what Pulse does. So I think that might be a good way to. I think that's the genius of it, is there's a bit of a stickiness to where you can get people over and cost them nothing to get a little bit of an airdrop, essentially.
World's biggest airdrop.
World's biggest airdrop, apparently. I done the same.
Yep.
I done the same.
Well,
yep. You go.
Have you ever heard of a bigger airdrop than this? Like, has there ever been a bigger airdrop?
Technically, this would have to be the biggest because it's the latest.
Yep. The biggest.
The biggest
by far.
If someone forks it tomorrow.
But not only from the perspective of, like, I know there's been other Ethereum state forks in the past months, but from a user perspective, from people actually going in and like using the network, I think Pulse is going to stand alone.
Hell yeah.
In relation to that, like Hexagons, Hexagons went across to some of these other forks of Ethereum and played around on it, and it was the Hexagons that made, like, the hex token over there was the most used token, the most traded token. So that just goes to show you how active the Hex community is. But the Hex community is only a very small subset of the PulseChain community, which is a much larger community. And then you've got the Ethereum community, the ERC20 holders community, which is even a larger set still. Now, all of those people, like, I just wonder who is not gonna, like, sooner or later, when they catch wind of what's happened here, who's not gonna come over? And play around. Maybe they come over with, like you said, maybe they come over with the idea of extracting value immediately and taking it. Oh, I'm just going to go get my free stuff and leave. And maybe when they get over and they use it and they play around with it, maybe they decide, hey, I got this for free. I'm going to stick around. Just like you said, mate.
So what are the first things you do when you come across? First of all, you've got to connect to the network. How do you connect to the network? Well, you've got to find that out. And that you're going to go somewhere like PulseChain or PulseX. So you're introduced to the ecosystem there. You connect your wallet, and
This is the website, by the way. If anyone's wanting to know, sorry to cut in there.
Yeah.
If anyone's wanting to know what the info, it's pulsechain.com. And you've got all the important settings here. And it's essentially just changing the network. You've just got to change the network from Ethereum to PulseChain, and you need this information here to do that.
If you click on install, there's a thing where it goes straight to MetaMask. You don't even have to go up a bit, maybe. I didn't think it said in. Oh, because that's why you haven't got MetaMask on this browser. If you've got MetaMask installed,
No.
if you've got MetaMask installed, that'll connect. That button will change, and it'll say connect to the network or install network settings or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So very easy to get on the network. So if you're coming across to extract value, first of all, you end up with it configured in your MetaMask. So that's one big tick. You've already onboarded. Then you go, okay, well, I've got some tokens here. I want to swap into something. Where do I do that? So you've got to find the DEX. So you find PulseX, and then you go and actually use it, and you go, holy shit, this is fast. It's a really clean interface. I can load all my tokens in. I don't have to go and paste token addresses and things like that. It's a lot of it you can just click on it and brings it in. So the UI or the UX, the user experience of it is actually pretty slick. And if people start doing transactions and they go, Jesus, this is quick, does everything ETH does, you might find they hang around. I don't know how.
So let's have a look at this PulseX.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at PulseX here. So this is a very familiar layout, isn't it? So it's pretty much what you look at when you go to something like Uniswap or 1inch. You know, they're maybe a bit more noisy. There's a bit more going on those pages. This is a very simple and clean interface. You go to this website. You just go to Pulse. I think it's app.pulsex.com/swap. And it's got this interface. You connect your wallet up here, and then you can just go and swap tokens. Now, let's have a look here. What's here at the moment? We've got, so let's say you have HEX in your wallet, right? Let's say you had HEX in your Ethereum address. Well, now you're going to have HEX on your PulseChain address, which is the same address. You're going to have HEX as well because everything got mirrored across, which means you'll be able to connect that. Once you've changed those network settings, you'll be able to come here, connect up to PulseX and swap things if you want to. But just bear in mind, there is no connection to the outside world as far as there's no bridge, there's no ramp to get on or off at the moment. It's simply ratio trading, which it's, you know, as I said, it's not something I've done. I don't think I'm going to do it at all. I'm going to stay away from that. I'm just going to sit back and watch everyone else do it if they want to do it.
Select Pulse and put one Pulse in and see how many PulseX you're getting. So that's
4.11.
That's gone up a little bit. It was hanging around the 3.5. So that's gone up a smidge.
Well, it just went down to 3.7.
Yeah. What?
It's jumping around a bit. It's jumping around.
What I've found is some people are trying to equate dollar values to these, and it's quite hard at the moment. I was literally just in a chat with someone on Telegram, and they were collecting the incentive token, and they said, "Oh, they've earned X dollars worth of it already." And I said, "Well, how are you pricing that?" And the only way, and we said this when we were talking with Johnny that time, I think we've said it a few times, is the only way you can really price things at the moment is you've got to price it with something that you can relate to. And the only thing that we can relate to at the moment really is HEX, but we don't know what it's worth on there. We can just assume that maybe it's worth the same as what's on the ETH side, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing, is they're saying, well, this is what it's worth on ETH side, so let's use that as our reference point. So that, I guess, probably gives you a little bit of a ballpark. I guess you could look at it the other way as well and use the Pulse sacrifice price as a ballpark. That's, you're really shooting in the dark.
So let's talk about that for a second. So roughly, you got a little bit more Pulse, like for dollars spent, like for whatever you sacrifice, whatever dollar value was at the time of that sacrifice, people got. I mean, obviously, it depends where you were on the scale. Like there was a bonding curve, and there was also sacrifice points, and I won't go into the complexity of that. I think it's irrelevant. But essentially, you got a little bit more PulseX for your dollar value.
Yep. Oh.
So now, and it certainly wasn't like double. It certainly wasn't. But here, this trade, like at the moment, Pulse is equal to 3.6, and I think that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case when you take in dollar values of sacrifice.
I know. I think that's how we sort of landed on that. Is that was sort of generally the accepted sort of ratio where it would be around a 1 to 3.
Really?
Yeah, but I'll preface that by saying I haven't crunched any of those numbers and I haven't really gone into it, but that's generally where the community sort of landed with that. I'll show you something interesting in a sec. Just got to mess around a little bit.
I thought for dollars spent, it was. I didn't think it was 3x, but I guess it depends where you like. It depends where you were, because if you were up the top of that ladder, then you're getting a 2x automatically, right?
Yep.
So the biggest sacrifice has got a 2x, and the regular sacrifices just a 1x or a 1.1 or something like that, a 1.2, 1.3, depending on 1. All the way up. But here it's 3.6. A second ago it was 4.11. So people have obviously sold their PulseX or swapped their PulseX for Pulse, because now Pulse seems to be more scarce in that pair.
Yep. I'm just trying to full screen mode. So I'm just trying to bring up a spreadsheet. All right. Let's see. This is sort of the rough calculations that I'm trying to do. And what do we got? Share a screen. Let's go with that. Cool. All right. Just want to share that for a second, mate. Hang on.
We're looking at a blurry screen.
I shouldn't be looking at anything at the moment. Just give me a second. All right. Okay, hang on.
So just while you're doing that, did I get rid of that?
I think I accidentally done it. Let's try again. Okay. All right, so we can see the HEX ratio here.
That, can I just say for me, I can't see a thing as far as it's all blurry. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Restream does something weird with me when I share a screen. I'm frozen on the screen. I can't see if anyone can see me moving or not. It just does something bizarre. Might have to kill it. That's a shame. Damn it.
What can you talk us through it?
Yeah, hang on. I'll just unfreeze myself. Yeah, I don't know why I can't share screens on this anymore. So basically what I've done is I've set up a calculator, and I can go and put in, I look at PulseX and say, okay, if I've got one hex, how many pulse can I get for it, and how many PulseX can I get for it? So you know that ratio. Then what you can do is say, okay, well, how much do we think hex is worth? And if we transport the value from ETH and say, well, let's just assume that we double the supply, halve the value, half on ETH, half on Pulse. Just as you've got to start somewhere. So I put in the equivalent value of what hex is worth on ETH onto PulseChain, and then it actually does a calculation based on the ratios and tells you what Pulse is trading at relative to the sacrifice value. And at the moment, I've got it at about a 2.8x. So take that with a grain of salt, because we don't know what the values are. But
yeah,
if you're trying to get some sort of picture of where it sits, that's sort of where I see it at the moment.
I'm staying away from all of it. I don't need that stress in my life.
Yeah,
I really don't. I really don't. You know, I can understand people just want to play with it though. Do you have any idea when the bridge? So here's an interesting thing, man. Anyone can launch a bridge.
Yep.
Anyone can launch a bridge.
Are you going to trust it?
No. The answer is no.
Yeah,
well, I mean, if it's, could you launch a bridge for yourself? Like you'd trust if it was.
Nah, it's not as simple, because you've got to mint the tokens on the other side, and people have got to trust those tokens, because you literally make those tokens out of your contract.
Yep.
So you want to.
So there's going to be trust along the way. Although, like when there's a well-known bridge, like we are expecting Pulse Ramp to, which is the bridge that's slated to be launched for the Pulse chain going over to Ethereum. That's we sort of believe that's coming out. I don't want to say 2 days, but you know,
that's what we're being told. Yeah,
a few days. Who knows? Who knows when it's going to come out? They have to make sure it's. Look, the last thing you want is for errors with the bridge or problems with the bridge. But I used the bridge on version 4, on version 3, and version 4, and it worked fine. Just fine.
Yep.
So
you've got to understand, you can't just bridge in any old token though. Like the team has to enable the bridge to support the token. It's not like you've got fucking Peppy and you want to bring Peppy across. It's just not going to be there instantly. The team that are doing the bridge have to actually go and configure that and say, yeah, we're going to accept that and we're going to mint it on this side. So to think that you're just going to be able to bridge in anything, that's not going to happen. So
which tokens do you think people are going to be bridging over? Do you think it's wrapped Ethereum would definitely be something that's coming over?
Think that would make sense. Yeah, I think you'll see. I reckon DAI is going to be the main stable that comes across. DAI, ETH, so wrapped ETH. Obviously, your HEX, you want to get that over there. More than likely, you'll see. I was going to say more than likely you'll see Hedron and all that, but maybe not. I don't know. Not sure on that one.
So some people have been talking about just with what whether the hex is going to get bridged across, or whether there's going to be some sort of cross chain link between the hex on Ethereum and hex on Pulse. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I've gone into a lot of depth on that previously. I think it would be great to see that. I hope it does go that way, but I can also see the merit in just using Pulse as that main go-between. But given, in my mind, I think for Richard, HEX is his baby. That's the one he really wants to see succeed. I think he'd probably do something with that as well. I think he'd want to make that the premier asset, at least to the point where it can flow through, and because it just opens up a world of opportunities for things when that's there. So, but as a minimum, obviously, Pulse.
HEX to HEX.
Well, the problem is if you just do it with Pulse, you're basically taking Pulse from PulseChain and wrapping it across onto ETH, but you're not actually binding it with anything. Whereas there's a very unique behavior between HEX because it already exists on there, and now because it's forked on the other side. So when you bind those pools on each side, there's a pretty unique behavior you get out of it.
It's not only, it's any, if you think about it, it's any large token holders, ERC20 token holders of any token that can play that game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's not just, and it's, I think if that's what happens, if that's what happens and HEX does that and it works and it does what it's like, can you imagine the message that will send to all these other projects that can now go and get like value on PulseChain as well? Like, tell me which project doesn't want more of just everything? Like, which project doesn't want more?
Yeah, I've seen some pretty funny behaviors from big teams where they're very ETH centric. It's a very clicky group, and so if you're on a layer 1 on ETH and you are all about ETH, like you get your optimisms and arbitrums, and they're in the clique, so they're all well supported and they'll work with each other. But there's a lot of other chains where they'll just blackball because it's not part of their little clicky group.
Yeah, but that's look, if they don't, I'm talking about ERC20 tokens, like not other chains so much, like other like layers or whatever. It just seems like a no-brainer. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Hedron do that as well. Like this thing that we're talking about with HEX.
Oh, Hedron. For sure.
Hedron could do exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
and I actually think Hedron is one of those tokens that I think will get much more support on, unlike HEX, which I think, I mean, right now we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping both sides are have good value. But Hedron, I would think that the PulseChain side is going to have more value, and the thing pushing that value is the ability now to bid on these HSI auctions, and the cost, like the gas fees for bidding on them being so low. On Ethereum, it made it unusable and also just a bit of a pain.
You couldn't even mint your Hedron effectively. Like if you've got smaller amounts of Hedron, you had to pay bloody $10 to mint your Hedron. So if you might have had a stake coming due and you just had to let it slide.
So on PulseChain, all that's going to be cheap. All the gas fees and stuff is going to be cheap. So people are going to be able to mint their Hedron. Great. And they're going to be able to bid on these HSI auctions. And because they can bid on these HSI auctions for cheap and it's not costing them money to bid every single time, they're going to be they're going to think, well, why not buy some more Hedron? Why not buy some more Hedron and bid on these auctions? Because there have been some great bargains that people have gotten. You know, like I've heard so like 50% off, 60% off these tokenized stakes.
Yeah, the gas is a big thing. Like I I ended a stake the other day. It was a stake that had been going for a long time, and I got hammered on this one because I'd done the transaction and it failed, and that cost me, I think it was 160 US for the failed transaction. And then I went in a couple of days later and actually ended it. I was just trying to find a window where gas was cheap, which didn't really eventuate. Ended up costing me, I think it was about $300 odd to mint that. Then I had to do the same. To end stake that one. Then I had to do the same end stake on PulseChain today, and I wasn't paying attention to whether I was setting the right gas fees or anything like that. I just pushed it through because I had other things to do. $3. So it was quite a big difference, and I'm sure I way overpaid on PulseChain. I've overpaid it for a few transactions on PulseChain today because I just needed to get things through and couldn't be bothered waiting. We did have a little period there where the gas was quite high whenever everyone was.
What was the highest amount of pulse you paid for a transaction?
I've done one which was about 98, but that was not a single transaction. That was a bulk send. So that was a bunch of transactions all bound together and sent. So, and that's why I just wasn't quibbling over the gas. I just needed to get a few things through. So you still can pay a little bit if it's super busy and everyone's hammering it. But I think that'll settle down. I think it was just a massive surge. Everyone was piling in there, and when you're doing your ratio trades, you've got to pay extra gas and stuff like that because you just want to get these things through because they're very time sensitive. So I think there's a lot of that going on today, but that'll all settle down.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of transactions. I heard people talking about like over 1 million transactions when I was listening to it. I'm guessing now that it's surpassed that. Do you know how many transactions have gone through on PulseChain so far?
No, I haven't.
Where do we even find that info?
If you go probably to the main Explorer or the Beacon Explorer. Let me just have a quick squeeze. I think the Beacon Explorer would have that on there. Let's have a look. Total transactions, if from what I'm seeing, I don't know whether this starts afresh, but that's saying 25 million. That seemed nearly 26 million. I don't know if that's the clock started at 0 or not. I'm assuming it probably did.
Well, there were were there not transactions for the AMM bot? Would that not be counted?
Yeah, all that would have added up. No, saying so that doesn't seem right. Transactions per day is saying 5,000. That doesn't seem right. Not sure. I'm not sure where that was set from. Don't know.
We just got a super chat for $2. Thanks, Sir JPEG. Comparison between 9-inch and PulseX, which is the best? I don't know, man. I haven't seen what first of all, I don't know what 9-inch is, but PulseX. Do you know what 9-inch is, Jexer?
Yeah, 9-inch is PP's DEX. Poor plebs.
Okay.
So that project's spun off and doing 9-inch. I don't know whether it's launched on ETH or whether it's what's going on. I don't know much about it. I had a quick look at it, but
I used PulseX on testnet and it worked pretty well. Got to say, pretty well. Yep. So that's all I can say. And I'd have to know more about 9-inch and what's involved. I'd have to find out more before I could speak on it.
Yeah. Yep. Everyone's saying HEX has been raped. Look, it was bound to happen. We've got it's basically a big payday event we've got going on, really. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens when a dollar value is injected onto the chain. That's going to be the thing to keep an eye on. That's what I'm excited to see. Because at the moment, everything is just random.
So HEX on Ethereum is, what is it, around 3 cents?
Yeah, 3.3 last time I looked, yeah.
I'll check it out.
Hmm.
I've got, 3 cents. Let's have a look.
It's stabilized pretty quick. I think there were a couple of big dumps and then it sort of stabilized.
Yep. Oh, that's a fair dump there, isn't it? I mean, that's a 1 hour. That's a 1 hour candle there.
Yeah, if you get like that was done, literally that was just one massive wall of cells. Like if you go down to 15 minute.
Got down to 1 cent.
Yeah, spiked right down.
There you go. And then it came back up. So I mean, people will still continue trading everything. It just shows you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are obviously some people dumped a lot because they saw that they got their copy on the other side. Now, that's it. They just wanted to get their money out.
So,
I guess.
Do you think that's a wise move or not?
Me? Do I think it's wise? Time will tell, mate, whether that was wise. I mean, we'll be smart. Those people will either look smart in hindsight or dumb, one or the other.
Yeah.
But we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're doing. Yeah. I haven't done anything, and I have no intention of I'm not going to play favorites. Ethereum and Pulse, they're both my children, and I will respect both of them equally.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen the game theory play out yet. So I think it's a little bit too early to tell. I think let's hope it's the 48-hour thing we've sort of been led to believe, because that will be that's the exciting part for me, is what happens there. Everyone's got their different theories, so it's going to be interesting to see what actually plays out.
Like when the bridge launches.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be everything. I wonder if people are just waiting for that bridge to come in and buy up. Yeah, and buy up stuff from PulseChain.
So if you've dumped your HEX, why have you done it? You've either done it to hedge a little bit, just to hedge risk, or you've done it because you want out of the ecosystem and you're going to go buy something else, or you've done it because you want to take that value and bring it across as fresh value on PulseChain. If it turns out to be that you're bringing it across as fresh value on PulseChain because you think there's going to be some opportunities there, I think any value that's injected onto PulseChain could drag or everything up on PulseChain and hence drag ETH up, HEX on ETH up as well. That's my theory. That's the working theory I have. So I haven't sold a thing. Happy just to go along for the ride. For me, this is potentially a big payday event. Could actually even be bigger.
Do you know which the biggest pairs are on? I was on a Twitter Spaces today with Tangent for a short while, and I think the biggest pair was Wrapped Pulse and Pulse X.
I couldn't even see values, man. Like if you go to the liquidity section where you're supposed to be able to see it, I couldn't see it there. Maybe people are picking it up of Dex Screener. I think I I haven't gone and checked that out. Have you had a look there?
I'm looking on Dex Screener as we speak.
Yeah, let's have a look.
And the
is
I see
PulseChain
wrapped.
even on there? Let's have a look. I honestly haven't even checked it today. I've just been head down, bum up doing other things. Is PulseChain on there? PulseChain, it's on there. Yep, cool. Yep, yeah. So that's where everyone's obviously picking them up from. Yep. So in terms of volume, so you can't. So the Dex Screener guys sent out a post saying that they're removing all the dollar values because it was obviously just throwing things way out of whack.
Yeah, yeah.
But so they've removed all the dollar values, but there is an absolute ton of pairs. Oh, hang on, tells you exactly. They're showing the top 100. So they're showing 3,422 pairings. So there's a lot on there. Yep. Yeah, I haven't checked. I'm sure there's going to be some hero moves made, but there's so much to keep an eye on. It'd be interesting to see how the SHIB guys are going, whether they SHIB. So that's a top 12 pair. And I think what you'll find is most of the people that have come across and played today are guys that have stayed very in tune with the project, just been hanging on Richard's announcements. I think over the next few days, that's when you'll see other people sort of come along and have a bit more of a look when they get wind of what's actually happened.
Yep. What does Bluey say here? Pulse has 15% of validators as ETH already. Oh, really?
Yeah, we have, and I can tell you now, like I've built my validator probably about 2:00 today. I've got to wait a long time for it to sync up, so I can't even fire up my validators yet. So there'll be an absolute truck ton more of these come across.
Do you have to sync it up from scratch?
Yeah. I've got to find
there's
it.
Probably
another way.
There's probably a way to pick it up from a block height.
Yeah, there is some checkpoint thing on the beacon side. But it's doing a lot of downloading now, so it's going to take a while. Last time it took me 2 days. So. Yeah, we'll see.
4,096 validators there are currently.
That's probably the team ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that figure tends to sort of represent the team.
Well, that's a binary doubling. 2048 by 2
so that
is 4,096. So 2048. So that's like a doubling of 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, so on, all the way through. Yep. So I wonder if that's just something that they've, like a number that they've come up with.
Yeah.
So that represents, we can say 32 million times 4,096.
Correct. Yeah. If you go to the Beacon Chain Explorer, it'll tell you exactly what's locked up. Where are we?
That's 131 billion pulse. 131 billion pulse.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to. There's no easy link to the Beacon Explorer from what I can see. Let's have a look.
The Beacon Explorer. Do you know where you could go get it? On the PulseChain.com, it's got the list of all the.
Is it?
It's
blocks. Become a validator. Maybe it's at the checkpoint. Let's have a look. Checkpoint. Man, we've got it. There's no obvious link for the Beacon Explorer. And we've got it. What have we got here? PulseChain mainnet.
Oh, you don't mean the block, the like just the website. You mean like the
Yeah. So you've got the Block Scout Explorer, which is the execution layer, and then there's a beacon layer one as well, a beacon chain one.
Yep.
Which I can't find. Why can't I find that? Come on. Let's go beacon. See if I can jag it. Oh, yeah. I think I jagged it. Yeah, so it's just beacon.pulsechain.com. So let's see.
Oh, hang on. At the top of pulsechain.com, scan.pulsechain.com, there's a drop down that says apps, and the first one in that says PulseChain Beacon Explorer.
Oh, does it? I thought I went there.
Yeah.
Apps. Oh, weird. I don't. That's because it's on V4. That's why. How'd I end up there? Really? I don't see that. Oh, apps. Beacon. Got it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so in there, you can see the total validators, and I think if you go to more, what dashboard is it? Yeah, it looks like all the info is not populated yet.
Yep.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to wait a little while for that to come in, I think.
Yeah, well, we have time. Plenty of time. So shout out to everyone in the chat, hey? Shout out to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, so if anyone's looking to run a validator, you can spin them up in under 30 minutes. You can have one built. There's some cool scripts out there. I've rebuilt mine about 8 times yesterday from scratch. That's from a blank machine. You've got to install Linux, get all your run all the scripts to fire up the validator and everything. Yeah, probably from
Are you running? You're running Ubuntu.
Yeah. So I've done one on a laptop where that was my one. I was just smashing every half an hour or so as I was testing things, and then I've got my little Nook, which is the one that runs my mainnet one, and yeah, literally started that at probably it's probably about 3 o'clock today. I think I started that, and I was done within the hour. So just got to sit there and let it grind away and catch up, sync up. But yeah, I think it's going to get pretty easy to run these things. There's a lot of people have put a lot of effort in. If you are interested, I've got a script that once I tidy it up and get rid of my private info, I'll make that available for everyone. But if you want a no-brainer, easy as possible, does everything for you, there is one by Dipslayer. It's literally just press buttons, and it's nice. He's done a really nice interface for it, so you can fire this up without really thinking too much.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all the tools will get better and better, I think. Everyone's just sort of been feeling their way around it in the last 4 weeks.
Sammy's like, Sammy's like, you guys should come on Hexo's stream. I actually thought, I honestly thought that the more streams happening, the better. That's what I thought, but I'd jump on this stream.
Yeah, we'll go across in a minute.
We'll see. I mean, Tangent said he was coming, but
yeah,
it is a Saturday night, so I'm dubious.
Yeah, I think you'll probably be out.
Yeah.
I
don't think that's happening. Yeah. Yep. Oh man. I've had a big day.
You look smashed, mate.
Dude, I've had a big day. I've had a
Mm-hmm.
big day. All day with the kids. Like just go here, go there, parties, this, that. Oh, mate. It's just it's been nonstop. But I thought I was like today I was just like I've got to stream. And I didn't want to invite myself to Hexo's stream. So I thought, well, it can't hurt to jump on Discourse, and as long as there's no one else, as long as we're not stepping on anyone's toes.
I think it's good to come on and do a quick one anyway, and just be because we get our little Aussie contingent here, so I think it's good to celebrate just with the Aussies as well, and bring that Aussie flavour of just celebrate the moment, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think Hexo's doing a 24-hour one again, isn't he? Is that what I heard? Or?
I think so. I think he is. I think he's doing a 24-hour stream, which is pretty epic, really.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that is hard work. I don't know. So I think Hexo started the first one for, I think it was the big payday one, wasn't it? Was that a 24-hour one?
They've been two.
Yeah.
24-hour streams. One was Big Payday. Or was it Big Payday? And then when was the other one?
I can't remember what the other one was.
There's definitely been two.
There's been two. And then I was part of the Liquid Loans one as well, that they decided to do a 24-hour one. I don't know. I don't know who set this target for 24-hour streams. It's hard going.
I think the move is to start to wake up early in the morning, and just start streaming immediately, and then just go all day and then all night and just stay up until early morning. But I think the move would be to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and start streaming, and then go all the way around that way. Because starting where I've started, I actually woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and went for a run. And then my plan was to come home and go back to bed so I could feel a little bit like Mike Tyson, because he used to do that shit when he was training. He used to wake up at 4 o'clock, go for a run, and then go back to bed and sleep.
I couldn't go back to sleep after that.
Oh, dude, you can. You can. Absolutely. I mean, you have a shower and then just because I got home, by the time I was out of the shower, it was I don't know, what was it? It was 7:30. And at 7:30 in the morning, if everyone else is still in bed, you can just slip back into the bed and it's, and go, and then you just fall asleep. I'm just reading. I'm just going to read this here. Tell these wrecked cunts to follow the chat. Is he talking about us? I should follow the chat and find out. Let's have a look.
What do we got going on? Ethereum Foundation dumping and suppressing the price to help fees. At least that's what they said. Absurd business model. Don't know. Bigger payday, yep. Yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing? Have we got a link?
Can you simulcast, or you have to drop this one and?
I don't.
So should we wind up here and we'll go crash on Hexo stream?
Do we have a link?
Well, Sammy seems to be in the know. We'll get. Hang on.
Sammy?
Hang on. I'll just zoom me up.
Can you message her? Because I'm gonna like also run the stream.
All right.
Yeah. Sammy, you're in the chat. We're gonna come over to Hexo's stream, but I need to grab a link. I need to grab a link to come over.
Yeah. So I might should we? Hexo's on a 5-minute break. Okay. Oh, so he's got a new stream firing up. Okay. Well, how about we wind up here, and then that'll give everyone.
Well, let's just. We want people to have somewhere
to hang.
Be.
We're going to be like the
to hang.
We're going to be the fluffer, are we?
We're the fluffer. We're the fluffer. We're the fluffers.
All right, can you let
you can take?
Can you let Hexo know we're being his fluffer for him? And then we'll go crash over there. I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on over there. I assume they've been running all day, but who knows?
I think so. I tuned in earlier today, and that was a good 6, 7, 8 hours ago. So
yeah, right.
I think they're being. Well, actually, if he's firing up a new stream, then he would have done. He's already done like 11 hours, 11 or 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I literally switched off of everything today. I was barely on Twitter and all that today. I just needed to get stuff done. So I've probably missed out a little bit of what was going on. I know there was a lot of Twitter spaces. I think Tangent done one. I popped in there for 2 minutes, and there seemed to be another Twitter space running as well. That was sort of helping people out. So yeah, it's all been happening. Oh, yep, cool. We've got a link for Hexo stream. So when
can you pop it in the private chat?
Yeah, I've never heard of this app, so that's going to be interesting. All right. Bit of that one.
Okay. Let me open a different browser. All right, hang on. I'm going to keep this one going for the time being.
Yeah, that's cool. So, anyone in chat, did they make any stellar moves today that were noteworthy?
Well, hang on. Sorry, mate. I'm just reading some messages, and just give me 1 second. I'm gonna saving this. Yep, there's that one. And hang on. I think T-Bird wants to jump on for a little bit, so I'll give him a link, and we'll have a chat. I haven't chatted to T-Bird in ages, man. Just, dude, I'll hook you up. Let's see, where is it? Invite guests. There it is. Invite guests. T-Bird, I will DM you on Telegram.
So everyone's putting in all their stellar moves. So some people brought a shit ton of HEX. Others done absolutely nothing. Some people slept straight through it. I had to deal with someone over in the East Coast. I said, if it launches when I'm asleep, you got to wake me up. And likewise, if it launches when they're asleep, I'll wake them up. So I was actually lucky. I was straight on pretty much when it launched. So I think there was a couple of opportunities there if you're in real early, but not a huge amount. Yeah, so get HEX. I just secured tokens and chilled. That's probably everyone was thinking there was going to be a lot to do. And the reality is if you didn't have specific things you needed to be doing, you just had to kick back and relax. Just make sure you can see your shit. Make sure you can connect, and just let the fun play out.
So I've just flicked T-Bird and Mayo links to jump on the stream. So I'm assuming they'll jump on.
Yeah. Now I've spoken to a few people that have been providing liquidity on the PulseX pool as well, which is, if you're going to do it, it's probably the safest one out of all of them, I would imagine. So I think there's a pretty predictable range that they're trading in. And let's face it, if one moves against the other, you're not going to be too upset if you end up holding more than one from what you expected. So I think that's not a bad. If you're going to play in any of the pools, that's probably the safest one to be playing in. And there's obviously a lot of activity on that pool as well. That will change when the bridge opens, though. So be very careful. Now, at the moment, the rate, it's funny, the ratio trading has actually been more stable than what anyone thought. And you've been in a pretty close range. But I think there's a few odd exceptions. Someone else said they got 30,000 to 1. So I think they'll be very, very few and far between those ones. And I think when the real volatility will happen is when the bridge comes along and you inject a dollar value onto the network. That could throw things into a bit of a spin. How are you, brother?
What's going on, boy?
Come on, T-Bird.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good.
How are we feeling?
Congratulations on PulseChain Day.
Yeah, fuck. I've been doing the rounds today. I'm just like, normally, there's signal issues, things just get glitchy, but today connection's actually been pretty good. So I jumped onto the DS stream earlier today with RG and Kinetics and the crew during that time. And I've also been in and out of Tangent's Twitter spaces as well. And DJ Lethal jumped in there for a bit as well, which is good fun.
Cool. Yep.
Hearing some of the things he had to say, and
Nice.
yeah, it's been a fun day.
So you probably know more about what's going on than we do, mate. You've been out around the traps.
Yeah, you just got to get amongst it, mate. It's mainnet day.
Yeah. Oh, for me, it was very different. I had to focus. I was just switched off everything and just needed to stay on track for what I was doing. But now I can enjoy it a little bit more, and it'd be good to go chat with Hexo and join a few more Twitter spaces over the coming days.
Nice.
I think it's only going to get better. Once we get the bridges open and things like that, there's just going to be so much happening for what could be a long time.
I jumped into mainnet like pretty quickly just to gauge it, and fuck me, like the gas in the beginning. I think at one point it was like 0.5 or 0.6 pulse for a swap or a send. Yeah. When it was like really, really heavily congested. And pretty much now it's pretty much settled down now. So normal transaction types are going through relatively easily. There was issues with European connections for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, VPN, you just VPN away from out of Europe, and the connections go through fine, no issue. So it's done a little bit of
Have you been
done a little bit of LPing? So I've got my LP, got my little bit of LPs in.
So that was the PulseX pair.
Yep. Well, as far as I can see, that's the only pair that's live at the moment. There aren't any other pairs. Yeah,
we're just looking on Deck Screener, and it seems like there's a buttload of them there. But obviously, the ones that you're seeing on PulseX on the actual front end are not showing there. What's going to be interesting, I'll have a quick peek, is from, let's just pick a random one, or let's do SHIB. This pair is, can I provide LP on it? Let's have a look. Trade on PulseX. Let's have a look at that.
It's been a long time since I've been on stream with you guys. I think it was.
It has.
I think it was January of last year when I was in Sydney. Was the last time I came on to
really?
a DS stream, and that was when Steph came on, and Steph was talking about, this was before Hedron, but there was like a lot of murmuring. It's like there was a lot of hype like just before Hedron launched in February. So it was an interesting time back then. Yeah.
That's a while, man.
Yeah,
that's a long while.
Yeah, it feels like it was like fucking more than just a year ago. That's for sure.
How you going, Mayo?
Mayo, what's going on, Mayo?
So on Mayo.
Fucking happy PulseChain, bitches.
Yes.
How good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now that it's all happened, do you even care about the 2-year time frame? Does it bother you?
Who, me?
Yeah, anyone.
No.
Yeah, I've
Never doubted it for a second.
never really bothered me. I think a lot of people are getting a bit salty, but
I just, had to. We knew it was going to happen, like sooner or later. I just had to power through it, and just, just the insanity of.
I really enjoyed the people getting salty. I enjoyed that. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I derive pleasure from people making themselves suffer unnecessarily. It's just.
I just think a lot of the saltiness would have come from the people that weren't in from like the really early days that really knew the full scope of who Richard is and what he's about. They sort of came in maybe around the Pulse sack or a little bit after that, and they got into the hype like at the top of the top of the bull, and thought Pulse was going to be launched much sooner, and then it kept being pushed back, and then they.
We all thought it was. We all thought it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be like a 2-3 months.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be 2-3 months, but.
And then when he said mid-May, like at the beginning of the year, it's like surely like mid-May is like when it's going to happen.
Well, you never said what year though, and here we are.
You never said what year, but like but then it got pushed back, and I was lucky that it did at the time, because then ETH 2.0 came along like months later, before there was any confirmations that ETH 2.0 was a real thing, and then in the end he ended up forking ETH 2.0. Which is a lot better than forking BSC. Yeah. So it's all worked out.
None of us read the fine print. None of us
there was no fine print
on that May business. If you turned the page and looked at the bottom, there was fine print. It was like 2023.
I think you're right, man.
He wasn't wrong.
I think we've ended up with a better technology and a better, like the delegated proof of staking that was on the Binance Smart Chain. It was okay, but it was always going to be an issue from a centralization point of view. I think it was always that wasn't the optimal model. I think this is a lot better now that everyone can fire up their own nodes and be validators and things like that. It's all in your control. That's, and the decentralization point of view, I reckon it was worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait.
Yeah. I mean,
that HEX on Ethereum is looking like a bargain to me.
Dropping down
I bet there'll be plenty of people out there when it hit its local high of 12 cents, like, I'd kill to be able to buy HEX at like 3-4 cents.
And now, they won't be touching it.
Now we're here, and they'll bet you they're like, in the pain mode.
But honestly, though, I think if you go do any large buys now, I think you're just going to be used as exit liquidity for people. Once the bridge opens and things are set up, that's when you're going to see the fireworks, I reckon.
Yeah.
I want to try and stay awake till the bridge is open, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 days, I reckon.
Refresh.
He said 48 hours, and I think
36 to 48, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, I'm actually impressed that he's been able to run with a $0 value, like he said. That's a little bit of a marvel in the way he's been able to do that. And we haven't seen any exchanges open up or anything like that. So I don't know how he's managed to control that so tightly, but it's good that it has been.
So do you reckon he will post? Do you reckon he will tweet that the bridge is live, or do you reckon that message on the PulseRam.com website will disappear first, showing that it's live?
Well, I think that's what he said. So you got to be watching it.
Yeah. What do you reckon first, the website or the tweet?
I reckon the website will change first.
Yeah. And do you think Do you think that he's going to wait till the bridge is open before he
I
live
think so.
streams?
Yeah, I think there's game theory behind that.
He's still if what we're thinking might play out, there's a lot of work they've still got to do in setting things up and moving things around and setting pools on both sides, and so there's a fair bit of work that's got to go into it. And it'd be nice. Ideally, it'd be nice to see the bridge open privately, so a few things are set up prior to it getting blasted out to everyone. Let's just say they've got to test it. So it'd be nice if they tested it first and then released it later.
Do you guys reckon there's going to be a substantial PLS pump when the bridge opens?
Well, so all we're seeing at the moment is value that's already in the system just circulating around between the majors. So we haven't actually seen value injected into the network yet. And if the numbers that I've put together, I think we're at a 2.8x already, assuming HEX is the same value on both chains, puts us at about a 2.8x. And that's before any value has been injected. So who knows what's going to happen.
But even if you go the PulseX to Pulse, hang on, the value of that, of the people that missed out on the first stack compared to that got in the second stack.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, but I think it all comes down to how the pools are established. That will be one of the biggest factors, I think. But yeah.
Because you see,
Definitely.
I think I heard someone today on another stream said that someone scooped up 30,000 PulseX for one pulse at the start.
Yeah.
It'd
be interesting to see how.
No shit.
It'd be interesting to see how much what sort of volume they manage to get on the ratios like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be.
That's. I mean, realistically, 30,000 PulseX is fucking.
Oh, no.
Even if it's just for one.
No, but but like if you've
you know,
managed to do 100 million pulse on it,
like
that ain't bad.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I
wonder. That's gonna be on chain.
Seeing the volume of the buy and burn with PulseX is pretty crazy, and that leads me to think that I think PulseX is going to be very undervalued initially.
I don't know. There's a lot of. I think there's a big contingent of people that have got big hopes for it. So I don't know. It might all balance out. I think the thing that, like, if people wanted to do their swapping now, where they're swapping their PulseX for Pulse, it seems pretty stable, the ratio. Who knows what's going to happen when dollars comes in? It's unknowable at this point. I think you guys are aware that it looks like all the the team validators are going to burn their Pulse. That's a pretty big deal. That's a lot of Pulse. That's I can do some quick maths on that, because hang on, this will be interesting. So we said there was 32 million. You guys are chatting. I'll do a bit of math.
By the validators.
Yeah. So you got
4,096.
131 billion.
4,000.
Staked.
That's what you work out. So let's go equals that times that. What did you say? 131.
131 bill.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. So equals that times 0.2. So this is just rough on-screen math. 26 billion pulse get burnt annually.
How much? 26
26 billion will get burnt
billion
per annum.
annually.
But so we've already had a total of 3 billion
Fuck,
Pulse
it's hit
X.
3. Yeah.
Has
Last time
it?
I checked.
Holy crap.
Did you say 3 billion? 3 billion?
3 billion.
3 billion. 3 billion Pulse X burnt. Well, it's 2.97, so 3 billion.
Bought and burned. You know, it's not.
See, but this is the
That's
weird.
a lot, hey?
Has it done the buy though? Has anyone done the buy with it? Because you think that would push the ratios a bit. So
Don't know, mate.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I'm not across that enough to know how the mechanism behind that work. But yeah, so there's I think from a deflationary point of view, all the tokenomics of all the main coins all seem to be geared to go up and to the right. It's going to be pretty crazy, I think.
Was it just me or was Jexa a bit staticky or something?
Yeah, bit glitchy.
Yeah, I think running a node.
Yeah,
I think running a node doesn't help. Pumping
You're running on the same network.
I'm going to have to set up some priority on it. It's just a constant underlying.
You know, you can get you know this, like, if you have you got 5G where you where you are?
Yeah.
4G or 5G? Someone else is here. Oh, Sammy.
Hey,
Sammy.
What's going on?
What are you
How
talking
you going,
about?
Sammy?
What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good. I've just
What's
been
up?
on Hexo stream. We're having a great time. I've been drinking champagne, and it's been awesome. You know, we've been waiting 2 years for this, so we're finally here. So, what's been happening, guys? What happened when you found out PulseChain was launching?
I just woken up.
I was still awake because I was drunk and having a big night last night for my anniversary. And
Happy anniversary, Mayo.
Anniversary.
she wasn't happy when I was staying awake trying to keep up to date.
Hey, everybody.
Sammy, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened when I found out. It was about 11 o'clock this morning. I'm walking out the door with my son, about to take him to a birthday party. No, sorry, some sporting and then birthday party. But walking out the door, I look at my phone, I see a message from Sammy saying PulseChain is live, and in my head I just go, fuck.
Awesome.
And I couldn't do shit for like 4
Oh
hours.
no, you had to sit on it for 4 hours.
Well, I did. I just couldn't like go and look at Pulse stuff. I couldn't go like sit in front of a computer and nerd out for like a couple of hours and see what's going on. I had to like go and do dad stuff.
I had to do that as well. I had to take my daughter to a friend's birthday party as well today when I woke up.
Yeah, what is the thing with birthday parties today, man?
Anniversary birthday
What
parties.
about you, Jex? T-Bear, where were you guys when it launched? What happened? What's the story?
It's actually pretty time friendly for me. I don't know what time zone Richard's in, but he seems to do everything at about 8 o'clock my time in the morning, which is just perfect because you can. It's a nice time to get started on things. So yeah, I was actually lucky. I was hanging around the house, and like I said, I had a deal with one of the other guys over in Melbourne. If a launch happened while I was a sleeper off the clock, he'd let me know. So I instantly got a phone call as soon as the tweet dropped. So I was lucky enough to get on straight away and test things out.
Nice.
What's weird though? What's weird is about 3 o'clock last night, I had a dream where Richard came and visited me at my house, and we sat on the front lawn having a chat. So I was obviously playing in my head. I don't know. This is the weird thing, though. So I had a chat with him, and then I drifted off, and then I woke up, he was gone. I don't know what that means.
So you
I
look
couldn't track him down.
amazing. Have you lost weight and had your hair done? Because you look really good.
Yeah, I lost about 10 kilos getting a haircut, I think.
You look fantastic.
Was that going bald from all the stress of being that bald?
Definitely got a lot more grey hairs these days, that's for sure.
Oh, tell me about it. And T-Bear, what were you
Tell
doing?
me,
What
tell
were
me
you doing
about
this
it, mate.
morning?
Yeah, so I mean, I got up. Well, I thought I was going to do an all-nighter. I wanted to pull an all-nighter, but I ended up crashing. I think about 3:30 in the morning, and I woke up at about 8ish East Coast time, and I checked the computer. I didn't want to get up. I wanted to, but I had to check to see what was going on. Looked on Twitter, looked at Richard's page. Nothing new. So I'm like, right, fuck it. I'll just nod off another few hours. Good thing I did. If I didn't, I'd be like fucking super wrecked today. So I ended up waking up. I think it was literally around 5 minutes before Richard actually sent the tweet that it's live.
Wow.
I'm like, oh shit,
Jesus.
got to fucking wake up, get the coffee in me, and get going on the shit.
Awesome.
So
well, I was out walking.
yeah.
I was going on my morning 10K walk, right? And I get this call from my mate Paul. If you're watching, hi Paul. He calls me. He goes, just a courtesy call. PulseChain is live. I'm like, what? So I cut my walk short. I'm like 5 minutes from home, and I'm walking like really fast. I call my friend Ollie. I call my friend Jordan. Just say, PulseChain's live. So and then just piss bolt home, and then I've been watching the chart all day, like doing swaps. I provided liquidity. I just done a couple of things because we're so unsure about what's going to happen. What sort of prices are we really looking at? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's going to take a bit of time for things for the dust to fully settle, for price discovery to truly come through.
Yeah,
we don't really know how long it's going to take for the two hexes to find parity as well.
I like
and also the nature of where we are in the cycle as well leaves things up in the air as well.
I like that.
Well, one thing's for sure, there will definitely be people that are gonna dump Pulse and PulseX and Hex on PulseChain immediately the second the bridge is there. There's always people that are going to do that.
Yeah.
The question is, are there going to be more buyers coming in than sellers getting out? That's the question.
Well,
which is going to be more?
I think the FOMO is going to be really severe, like in the first few days. I think we'll offset. I mean, technically, you could say that we've just. I mean, even though we don't have fiat value yet, and the bridges aren't open, the chain has launched, and we've just seen the hex dump.
It's going to be chaos as soon as it launches.
You could argue that
it's going to be crazy.
How I'm thinking of it is going to happen is, there probably isn't going to be that much of a dump. There will be a dump, but not as crazy, or at least not to the point where it's below SAC value. And pretty much all the FOMO will be directed into Pulse, and I'll be expecting that shit.
We've got a different group of people that have sacrificed for it as well, because you've got the core Hex community that probably arguably going to be a little bit more diamond-handed, but then you've got a lot of other people that are probably more opportunistic. That will be, if you get a 10x or something like that, they'll sell the shit down really quick. How big are their bags and how much are they going to sell of them? That's the thing we don't know. But the good thing is, once they're out, and then it's that's when you can reset the clock and go again.
Absolutely. It's going to be chaos on launch, guys. Everyone wants PulseChain. Have you looked at that PulseX today? Have you seen the ratio trading? It's like 1 to 3.5. I saw it 1.1 to 4, 1 to 7. Like, it's crazy. Everyone wants in. Everyone's just waiting for that dollar value. Like, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think like definitely don't fall into the FOMO traps of buying the FOMO like at the gate, like as soon as the bridge is open. Like anybody that's just going to be DCAing in between, you know, from the time the bridge is open, you know, for maybe like, you know, 2 or 3, even up to 4 months. If you're DCAing in all the way through that period, you're good. It's going to be blue skies from there, in my opinion.
There's a lot of, I have a lot of real life friends that have been ringing me and texting me today after seeing me share the story that it's gone live on like Instagram and Facebook. And they are, none of them sacrificed, but they've been watching and hearing me talk about it for 2 years, and now it's finally happened. Now they're coming at me with so many questions and how do we buy?
Yep. No, I think there is a lot of people, in that position.
And I've been answering questions all day. I've been so busy, like, you know, like people not being able to connect to PulseChain, people like myself having problem with the network, like a lot of failed transactions, you know, heaps. And I streamed with Crypto Grammy on TikTok, and then streamed with Hexologists. I've just been like flat sticks all day. And you know what? I say to everyone, you know, no question is too silly, too dumb. Message me and I'm happy to answer anything because I love crypto and I want to see everyone do well. But
how fucking good is it that you don't have to pay $50 for a failed transaction?
I know, right? I'm like, speed it up. Hell yeah, baby. Speed it up.
Fuck.
Yeah, so good.
Like this is the time of healing.
Yeah.
You know?
And no one's done what
gas
Rich
fees
has done.
healing.
No one has copied
that
the
was-
whole Ethereum state like what Rich has done. No one's done it.
That's like trying to onboard new people with those gas fees is impossible. Like, why am I paying a $50 fee for
Love you guys.
$100?
Yeah.
You know,
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're going to be really big players for that not to bother them.
Wouldn't it be great if there was a way you could transport your value in HEX across the Pulse chain? I think that's what might be coming.
Well, how was the big dump today? Yeah. You know what, T-Bird, tell us about your Twitter post. You posted like they were like the T-shares, like the daily pay was like 8 HEX. The people were dumping the shit out of it. What happened there?
Well, it was just, you know, just the typical, you know, as soon as there was the notification that it launched, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where they everyone tries to front run the sell the news event. So it ends up just being a cascade. Everyone just doesn't want to be the last. No one wants to be the last person to sell.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it?
Where's the pump going to be? What's going to pump? Tell me, is it going to be PHEX? Is it going to be PulseChain? Is it going to be PulseChain? What's going to pump?
No, I just think it's, in my opinion, like the HEX pump is going to begin once Richard goes on live stream.
Yeah.
That's going to fuel a lot of hype because he hasn't been on stream for a long time, and now that the launch is officially here, and the documentary is also really close as well. There's so many different catalysts that could trigger it, and especially now, like, you know, we've just seen that capitulation red candle down off the launch, and now it's sort of starting to find equilibrium again. I don't see it going sideways in this range for that much for that long, really, in my opinion.
Interesting.
So I think it's going to steadily creep back up.
I don't reckon you'll.
Jexa, I've got a just can we take a step back for a second? You were talking about transporting value across chain. Were you talking about something specific?
Oh yeah, just what we've spoken about before. So everyone's sick to death of ETH fees. Like, it crucifies your value that people can, like, literally spending hundreds of dollars to end stakes. That should be money that's going back into HEX and the community, as opposed to just get burned on fees. And if there's a way where every time you end a stake, you can pick it up and bring it across to PulseChain without losing its value, that would be a pretty unique position to be in. And if we get the mechanics right, I don't see why we can't do that. There's a lot of moving.
Are you saying that is a feasible, like, so that is something that's viable?
Yeah.
Already.
If the pools are set up the right way,
like a fixed ratio
pool,
ratio,
then you can
for
you can
HEX.
migrate your value across without hurting the price on the HEX side. So you don't have to sell it down. So you're not punishing the price, but you can still take that value and bring it across. And if we can do that, then everyone can eventually migrate across.
But there's no way of getting around like the fees for ending this.
Oh
the
no, you still but don't get me wrong, you're still gonna have to pay that. Yeah, that is what it is. But knowing that you can, once you've done that, you can transport it across, and you don't have to worry about, because even starting stakes or whatever, there's just all costs associated with it. If you can make it so that everyone's heavily incentivized to bring it across, so they're not going to lose any value if they bring it across. Why wouldn't you? Like, if you can bring it into an ecosystem where it's still got the same value, but it doesn't get smashed all the time.
So if you could bring that value across to the Pulse chain, could you still use the stake function?
Yeah, no, because you basically swap it
EX.
into the native HEX on Pulse.
Oh, copy. So it's not wrapped. It's swapped to native.
No, it's not wrapped. So there's a mechanism where you can exchange it 1-to-1, bring it across, don't hurt the price on ETH, end up with it native on Pulse.
And remember, it's going to be really easy to do cross-chain swaps with portalx.io. Portalxswap.io.
But that would be a wrapped version. Unless...
Well, it's just a direct swap. It just routes everything for you and gives you the best deal.
Yeah, but it can't.
Can I just speak on the HEX to HEX thing? The OA, the OA could set that up in a way where it's just automatic. Like when it receives something from an address, like HEX from an address on this side, it pays out HEX to that address on this side. It could just set something up like that. That's like relatively automatic. And then there's no routing, there's no wrapped, there's no nothing. It's just like you send Ethereum HEX to an address, and that triggers something that will make the HEX from the OA or whatever entity is doing it send the Pulse HEX to that address, that same address. So it could be something that's like that, which would not involve any wrapping or any routing or anything, just like independent things that are happening on two chains.
Okay.
So you're saying
and that would be
entity
cheap.
would send the same amount back that you would send from one network to the other? Is that sort of to counterbalance it?
Yeah. Yep. It would be 1-for-1. That could happen. Something like that would be just super simple. The most simple way of doing it.
I need more than one beer, mate. Dub Cooter says I need a beer. I need more than one beer. I haven't drunk anything all day.
Yeah.
But
I've
got to wait till tomorrow before I pick up some beers.
Once I knew it was launched, I stayed sober.
You gotta get on these, mate. Get on these. Get on these, mate.
You're a mango junkie.
Oh, yes.
Sparkling water.
Yes.
Sparkling water, mate.
I've got
Sparkling
the mango
water.
kombuchas. That's my go-to.
It's adrenaline fatigue.
All right.
Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? What's happening, guys? What are we doing? What's Hexo doing? Yeah. Are we going over there, or he looks pretty full?
I've been waiting to wear this shirt too.
To me,
someone, I can't remember who designed this, but someone in the community did it. I just took it and put it on a shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. PulseChain putting Hex into Super Saiyan dog mode.
We could go over to Hexo's stream, but there's already like 7 people on there. So if you think it's hard getting a word in on this stream,
Yeah, I think that they have a
Yeah.
max in the StreamYard
I think it's,
that they can have on.
yeah, I think it's 9 or something. I'm just going to mute for a little bit. I'm just going to help close out for a sec. I'll come back on in a minute.
No worries.
Oh,
So yeah, busy day. So T-Bird, tell me, what have you been up to, man? What have you been up to the last 2 years?
just smashing Twitter, haven't you?
Just fucking just
All over Twitter.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I try to be as active as I can on there, and just smashed through the bear and just try to keep the flame alive. When everything was going to shit in the community.
Oh, you come and visited me
during the bear
twice.
cycle. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I came up for two of Jake's fights.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was one that was actually pretty recent, wasn't it? It was like just a few months ago or something.
Yeah.
Back in was it December?
Yeah.
Diamond.
Yeah, the diamond fight.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I
did he get into that? Did he get into the new into that comp? Is there a comp that they're doing?
We're trying to get him into that one championship, which announced like our open weight world Muay Thai competition. So pretty much, anyone can join it at any weight, and winner takes all with some huge amount of prize money.
That would be awesome for him, man. That would be awesome. Sorry to cut you off, T-Bird. Sorry to cut you off, mate. What were you saying?
That's all good. No, mate. The last 2 years has been jam fucking packed. I've just been throwing myself into into all the crypto stuff and learned a lot of stuff and accumulated knowledge along the way, and here I am, and ready to absolutely kill it in the coming bull, and then looking forward to doing just leaving the cocoon here and start doing some traveling.
Nice.
One thing I never asked you is how'd you get the name
You have to
T-Bird?
So the full history, the full HEX history of my name, it actually started. And
it wasn't T-Bird.
Funny because Sammy's the only one that still calls me by the original name that I started off with, which was T-Dog. But then quickly I saw that there was another hexagon at that time in the beginning that had a similar name to mine. So I'm like, I can't keep that. So I changed it to Red Pill Soldier for like a few weeks. And then I'm just like, nah, I can't keep that because that's just too long, and it's for branding. It's not really going to work. It's too generic. So I thought, I had this old nickname that a lot of my mates back in the day, many years ago, used to call me, and it sort of like had a bit of a ring to it, and it was just easy and for marketing and branding. So I'm like, just do T-Bird, and then I've just stuck with that ever since.
Nice.
So it doesn't actually necessarily come anywhere. It was just a nickname.
Good to see you.
It was just a nickname that a lot of people gave me.
How many followers you got on Twitter
What's that,
now?
Sammy?
You're like so famous on Twitter now. How many followers you got now?
Yeah,
it's
kind of cool.
How many you got?
It's kind of cool. I'm up at 6.5K now on there.
Bro. Very nice. You deserve it.
That's very nice, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Hey,
it's been smashing.
You've been in the top 10 influencers on there quite often, aren't you?
You're always on Lunar Crush.
Always in the top 10.
Kicking it, bro. Kicking it. Hey, someone could you please provide a step-by-step guide on how to PulseChain on MetaMask and put tokens on it? Ronnie, and this is the thing I just said in the last chat. If you go to Richard Hart's tweet, he's got basically all the RPC settings that you can put in your MetaMask and swap over to PulseChain. If HEX will be the same address as your Ethereum contract address. You just search in Google Etherscan HEX, and that's exactly the same address with the 8 decimal. PulseX. If you look on my Twitter, I've got the PulseX contract address on one of my tweets. And you just copy paste that. I think it's 18 decimals. Is it 18 decimals or 8 decimals? The PulseChain is 18.
8 decimal for hex.
8 decimals for hex. And then
then
anything that you on Ethereum, same thing. Copy from Ethereum the contract address into your PulseChain wallet.
Yeah, so he was trying to add the tokens here. So have you guys seen the link that Richard Hart shared? The PulseChain sacrifice checker, and it scans tokens and adds them to your wallet automatically.
Is it working?
Yeah, yeah.
How long does it take?
Yeah, it works.
Download it?
Works. Yeah,
it works well.
It works really well. So the only query I have on that, which may be someone a bit more advanced than me, is I think I spoke to Tangent about it briefly in Spaces, but I had issues with my microphone. Could someone bring in a new token now? And then you scan through this scanner and you add that token, but it could be a phishing token. That was my only concern.
Yeah, but the phishing tokens you don't even give a shit about because they're in your wallet, but you know when you've got something, right? So if you bought something, you know it's there. They're the ones that to bring over. Anything else, don't pay attention to it because it could be.
Yeah, if it's a token that you know you have absolutely no affiliation with, you just don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Like,
yeah, so you can add it, but as long as you do not interact with it, it can't do anything to harm. Is that correct?
And Ronnie Asako, you'll see when you put the PulseChain, when you put those contract addresses in, it'll ask you how many decimals, and you just pop 8 in there. It's really straightforward.
Yeah, I'll just share.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even add them. Like,
just do the scanner.
I mean, obviously, I don't think.
Just go to PulseX, press little
the scanner will pull up like
and
all
it
the
adds it in there.
That should.
Did you guys go on PulseX and add liquidity and shit like that today? I did. Not boasting it.
Yeah, I did a little bit of LP, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't done any LP yet.
I'm slightly bullish on incentive token.
Same T.
Yeah, I'll post. Yeah, this link. Yeah, where can I post it? Oh, do you want to post that link?
In the chat. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, for the token scanner.
Where's Tangent? I think I did a Spaces with Tangent today, and
yeah, I saw you in there. Sonny. Like when I jumped back in, I was co-hosting.
Yeah,
Tangent Spaces
I saw. I took my kids somewhere, so I was like on and off. But I know that Tangent had some party today or some party tonight with one of his chick friends. So that's probably why he's not here tonight. He'd be spewing because he.
He did say he told me on the Spaces that he's definitely keen to make it on the stream here tonight.
Yeah.
So he is going to make it.
If you,
for sure.
I heard that as well, but
I've seen the video.
Has anyone else in chat got any questions? Like seriously, no questions are too dumb. Don't be afraid to ask. If you're having problems, getting on a PulseChain, yell out and chat. And I'm happy. I'm sure the guys are happy to answer any questions. We want you to be winners. So, pop them in.
Don't Google the answers.
Yeah,
don't Google the questions.
Richard Hart is smarter than Google.
You will get all the wrong answers if you Google them. You'll get all the wrong answers.
And smarter than Google. It's not going to be on Google.
Have you guys been noticing that the ETH gas has been consistently lower than it has been since Pulse launched?
Vitalik stuff.
I've been noticing
that
it's been like.
But you know what I've noticed about Vitalik is he's a bad actor.
In the 30s and 40s.
He pretends he's going to bring down gas fees with, this recent upgrade. These couple of recent gas never went down. Gas went up, especially for HEX. So thank God for PulseChain.
Well, I think what's happened, I think the reason why the gas has come down is because people are waiting for the bridge to open to bridge their shit over to PulseChain before they do anything else. So it's freeing up some of the congestion on there. That's what I think is happening.
Absolutely.
Still got all the meme coin things going on, but
yeah, but but Pepe's down massive, like since it's high now. and
I know,
I think
right?
people are getting the FOMO is fizzling out
It is
now.
the weekend as well, so it's a bit lower than weekdays. Yeah.
But Richard Hart's done something no one's ever done. No one's ever copied the whole Ethereum state. This is something really special. And, I think should be our job to get that message out there. We want to get the Shiba Inus. We want to get the Link community. Get in there, get your free coins. They may not be worth much in the beginning, but that will grow like crypto. You make a lot out of a little in crypto. True?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be one of the things I'll be potentially doing, which I'll be strongly considering doing, is as we get further into the ball, and more and more attention starts to flood into PulseChain, I'm probably going to want to hit the road and do a full. One of the things I want to do is scale the entire coastline of the country, and do sort of similar to what the Germans did. Not necessarily set up maybe not conferences and stuff like that, but just sort of just wing it and just and make it like a whole full trip around the coastline.
Well, come visit us in Melbourne.
That sounds awesome, Tibbo.
Meet up with Hexicans around the country and put Hexico on the map in Australia.
You'd
that
love
would be
it
an
in
awesome experience.
America. You guys would all love it. You would love it. Like, you go over there and you're like a freaking star. They just love you so much. They embrace you, and you go to a foreign country, like everyone's your friend. Like, you guys will love it. You got to get over there sometime. Hey,
I'm just going to jump in. There's a question in the chat, and the question is, I just came in. How do I start retrieving my coins? Okay, so there's a couple of prerequisites. As you need to have had ERC20 tokens. So tokens on Ethereum, you need to have had tokens on Ethereum prior to the fork. So if you had tokens in the last few days or prior to that, and you haven't moved them since, and they're still on Ethereum, then you're going to have a copy of them on the PulseChain. Now, your next question is, how do you access the PulseChain? So if you're using MetaMask as a wallet, if you are using that as a wallet, then the easiest way to access the PulseChain is to go and change the network settings. So the network settings are, let me just bring them up on the screen, but you can go and verify this yourself. You go to pulsechain.com and you'll be able to see the network settings right there.
Yeah, or that button that says install will just say add PulseChain network.
Yeah, if you've already got MetaMask on your browser, it will say in.
If you just, when I connected to mainnet for the first time with MetaMask, it just adds the RPC automatically. It doesn't even, you don't even need to enter it manually.
Yep.
Yeah, I just hit that button.
You want to take down those details anyway, just in case you do need to enter it manually.
Yep. And then once you do that and you're on that network, you go to the same address that you've always gone to that has your ERC20 tokens on Ethereum, and it will have the PulseChain version of those tokens on there. And then you can go to, you can sit tight and just wait for the bridge to open, the bridge to Ethereum, because at the moment there's no bridge. Or you can go to a website called, where is it? PulseX.com. Go to PulseX.com, and then here it says PulseX is here. You can check out PulseX right now. And you click on that. And this is PulseX, which looks a lot like Uniswap. But this is Uniswap for the PulseChain network. and you can go in there and connect your wallet and swap tokens if you want to, or you can just sit back and see if they get value. It's up to you what you want to do there. It's an airdrop, and it's completely free, which is awesome. Who doesn't like free? Right, Sammy? Who doesn't like free?
I love free money, especially Hedron. It's like the lizard's tail that keeps on giving. And speaking of Hedron, they've already set up their shit on PulseChain. So get over there if you need to use it. It's all set up. And Steph was on Hexo's stream, and Staker app is also integrated. PulseChain now. And
I've already tested it out. Because I stacked with the Staker app.
Beautiful.
So I've already moved my tokens. I've already moved my tokens off Staker app into my Trezor.
That's awesome.
That's another important thing. If you did sack and you think there's any chance of being compromised in the last 2 years, get them out as soon as you can into something that's safe or secure.
100%.
Bear in mind this, right? We're talking about, speaking of airdrops, which set of people do you think will be most deserving of airdrops over the next year or two? Which set of people?
The Shiba Inu and Link community. We need to get them over. I know that was a dumb question.
All the Pepe bros deserve it.
That's not the answer I was hoping for, but that's funny all the same.
You know the answer. So the Hexicans deserve it, and we will just say on Hexo stream.
Hexicans, but I think the
The PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice sets will get airdrops for sure.
Yeah. Think of how many airdrops Hexicans got.
Yeah,
Hexicans got so many airdrops.
I know people who are living on the airdrop. Seriously, like people living on it.
I was one of them, man. I fucking. There were times where I was so fucking skinned that those airdrops, like, I survived with that shit.
Tell me about it. Hey, T-Bird, I may look rich, but I fucking ain't rich. You know how much fun it was to stream with Hexologist. I love Hexologist. Like, I used to watch his stream every freaking day. I worked from home and used to pretend I was working and secretly watch Hexo every day. And it's so good to stream with him. He's amazing. And
Hexo, man, Hexo's the OG streamer. Like,
he's so funny. He's such a good guy, you know.
Yeah, his best character.
It was so much fun to finally meet him in person after what? 3, nearly 4 years? Like, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And I told everyone about our meetup in Sydney. So 3 months, guys, get your shit together. Mayo, I want to see you get your shit together.
Okay, yeah. So what's the date for it?
43. You can bring the family if you want. So 3 months, guys, like 3.5 months, whatever. You know, we'll give you enough time to get your accommodation and your flight sorted. We're going to have a 3-day weekend, Friday night dinner, Saturday cruise, Saturday night maybe dinner, a night out, Sunday brunch, and then home. Anyone that's coming from overseas, we'll extend that. You can go to the zoo. There's a great zoo in Sydney. There's great beaches in Sydney and other attractions. Yeah.
So what, like in... So August or September?
Let me count by number. What are we in?
May.
August, which is a shitty month in Melbourne. August is so cold. But August, September sounds like a really good day. And all the Hexicans, to come from all of Australia to come and embrace this opportunity. I want to see them winning. I want to see PulseChain freaking kick ass. I want to see them winning. And I want us all to get together, reunite, you know, share our glasses, toast to the PulseChain launch, and, you know, and share this great community that we're in, because we deserve it after waiting 2 years, you know?
Yeah. I might, depending what happens, I might not be in Australia in August.
Where are you going, Mayo, now?
Might be going back to Portugal.
What's in Portugal?
My missus' family's all there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
What
Plus, there's a lot of
day?
Hexagons there.
What
We
day,
haven't locked
mate?
In
anything in
August.
yet. It's not 100% locked in yet.
Nice time to go to Europe in August.
And there are a lot of hexagons in Portugal
Yeah.
too. I hit some of them up.
Yeah, I've already hit Famous up. Well,
Hey,
sort of.
Dub. Sammy Chica loves Sydney. I freaking love Sydney. Sydney is an amazing.
Yeah, I'll definitely make it to
Yeah,
Sydney.
you're coming, T, but I
later
don't
this
care.
year.
I have to come to your house and freaking put a rope around your neck.
Drag her
I literally couldn't make it the last time because of the fucking floods.
I know, right?
Like literally,
That's like shit. That's like
floods
shit.
totally
That's
fucked me
not.
last
That's
When-
not fair.
When are you going to know the exact date, Sammy? And then I can start
Well,
planning.
we're thinking 3 months out, but we'll maybe make it 4 months. Give everyone time to get flights. Well, we know hexagons that can get hotel deals. We know hexagons that can organise the harbour cruise. Like we got a whole heap of hexagons in on this shit. Like it's not just me. It's not just
You guys doing a booze cruise?
I'm actually
Yeah,
from Sydney
hell
originally,
yeah.
just so you know. So I've got heaps
Fucking
of
oath,
friends
we're
there.
doing a booze cruise in Australia, in Sydney, for PulseChain launch. Like, what else do you do? What else do you do?
I still
And you,
work.
Kat, no, you're not escaping. I'm coming for you too. You're coming as well. We're gonna have a good time. And that's it. That's it. End of story.
You're going to do what you're told and have a good time.
That's right. That's right. We're gonna liven the fuck up out of Australia because everyone's freaking depressed because of COVID. You've got to have a good time. You only live once. And we got the best opportunity, mate. The whole town was in lockdown. I was becoming a millionaire. Look at this face. Look at this face. This old girl. I'm becoming a millionaire. Everyone else was depressed in lockdown.
Yeah.
So, you know,
that's-
we've been given the privilege. Enjoy it. And, you
Look
know,
at what
live it
we've
up.
all achieved compared to what all the depressed people sat around doing nothing in the last 2 years.
True.
3 years, all that going on.
True. It's so true. You know, you got to grab it by the balls and enjoy it. That's what it's there for. Where's Jexter?
I'm going fucking all out. I'm going all out this bull cycle. You know, I've had to hold back the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
there's no holding me back in the next couple of
Yeah.
years. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're
I'll be the
coming for
same.
sure. T-Bird,
I
look,
haven't
have to
just-
come down and grab your balls. You're coming.
See, it's not just crypto that I've gotten good
a
at
friend-
since Richard Hart. It's like my business and everything else. All my money and income has become greater by following Richard Hart's Skyvive and what do you call it? Advice.
He's amazing. He's such a beautiful
Yeah.
human being. You know, can I just say that everyone, you know, I need your attention right now. I don't know if you saw Dipcatcher's tweet. So Hex 19 was hacked in a brutal attack. He was a big player in Hex. He got hacked for $500 million and he sacrificed on the same address. Now, Richard Hart made the time to make sure that his sacrifice of PulseChain went to another address so it wasn't going to scammer. Like, this is why I love Richard Hart. Like, he cares about the little guy. He cares about these people. He cares about everybody. And that's why I love him so much, you know. So, Richard Hart, I love you so much. And that's amazing what you've done. And, you know, and I love, okay, I personally know Robin, who's HexDex's daughter, but that's big money. $500 million is big money. And I want to see them freaking kick ass. So, love you, Richie.
Hey, I got a text message from a friend with a screenshot of Richard Hart's tweet that said the PulseChain mainnet is live now, and underneath is written, "So are we rich?" So I messaged back to him. I said, "Yes, quit your job now."
Awesome. I'm freaking love it.
Oh, I love this shit, man. I love it.
So, Sammy, we
So did you sort it out?
Just my mere presence corrected it. I didn't even have to do anything. We need to have a chat about this date, Sammy, because I think I might be out of the country as well.
Shit, Jack. Where are you going?
I'll be over in Europe, so
Oh, you lucky bastard. Where are you going?
heading late June, and I'll be there till August.
August.
Yeah. So if
All
we
right,
can push it
look,
back, if we can push it back a
Nice.
little bit, that'd be nice. Then
Aussie
everyone can.
Mexicans. Who wants to aim for September? Weather's not even in Melbourne. The weather is half decent in September. In chat, put if you want September, let us know because we can do it in September. I'm easy. You all know
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
September.
And I've
Yeah,
got two
September.
boots,
Starting to
eh?
warm up again.
Yeah, Sydney for September is fine by me.
I don't want to throw a spanner in the works. I'd love Queensland that time of year, but hey.
Sydney is beautiful. You don't realise how nice it is in Sydney. Like,
My bro lives there.
weather.
Yeah. I know Sydney. Yeah.
Have you been to Sydney before, Jackson?
Yeah. My brother lives there, so I go there.
Yeah. You know how beautiful the circular quay
Oh yeah,
is.
no,
in
yeah.
the
Oh, it's
city?
awesome down there. Yeah. No, it is.
But you know what? We could do Sydney Harbour this time, and then we'll do Surfers Paradise next time. There's going to be more. You know, Sydney's just the first because there's a lot of Sydney Hexicans. There really is. There's more than Melbourne is.
Yeah. I reckon the Perth crew would outnumber the Sydney crew.
Are we gonna have a challenge? Are we gonna have a state of origin of Hexicans?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what, Jex? We're going to count on you and Ken to get the message out.
You guys are all delusional. You are all
I want to go to
delusional.
Perth. I've never
Melbourne
been to Perth.
Hexicans.
I reckon we need to do a
We
poll.
have-
We need to settle this.
We've got,
Hey, how about we just take it into the Hexican fight ring?
I really want to get over to Perth at some point.
Same here,
Yeah,
Jex.
Hopefully by the end.
Yeah, we should
I've
have
never been.
at least one. Like plan it well ahead. Actually, a summer event in Perth would be awesome.
Beautiful.
That's when Perth's at its peak. Just all the beautiful beaches.
I've been to Perth, but I've never left the airport.
That would have been a
Many
pretty
times.
sad outlook on Perth because our airport is shit.
Yeah, I had to sleep there on the floor.
There might have been a vending machine or two that were open so you can get a feed as well.
Have you seen them little sleep cube things they got there? I
No,
tried
I've
one
never
of
had
them out. They're like little sleep pods.
Well, what I would like to do with PulseChain is time the Melbourne Cup. If you've ever been to Melbourne Cup, it's the biggest fucking piss in fucking Australia.
I'm originally from Melbourne, and I've done the
Now,
Melbourne
the
Cup
Melbourne Cup is
many times.
awesome. It's the best piss up ever.
I can't go. That's my hay fever is fucking wrecked.
Really?
Down
Well,
that time of
I
year, so
will
I
supply the Claritine
I'll
personally.
fly to Belfast.
When I'm rich, I'm going to hire the cubicle and get all your asses down to Melbourne. It's okay. It's going to be a toss-up between the Grand Prix or the Melbourne Cup. So you can decide. But I'll be
All I got out of that-
transporting all you guys down to Melbourne for that event just so I can have fun.
Oh.
I do need to get down to Melbourne though for a visit. I've got family down there, so I do need to get down at some point.
Yeah, I haven't been down there in a long. I've been down there once. I had
You're
a
not
big those
missing
giant
much?
cocktails they have in the casino. That
Yeah,
made
it's
me vomit.
freaking cold as fucking dog shit down here right now. He's not missing much, believe me. Hey, 43, how cold is it? Like, seriously, like today was nice, but it's freaking cold.
oh, it's been cold. It's been really cold. Last 4 weeks. It's been really cold. And our heater stopped working just as it started getting cold.
Oh, did you get the service man out to service your heater?
Yeah, I got him to come out and he messed around with it for a couple of hours and then charged me $400 and
Oh my
then it stopped working the
God.
next day again.
What a rip up. Is it working now?
Dude, it's the worst. And then he came back and changed and charged me another $350
You're
to
getting
change
ripped off, 43.
the transformer. No. Do you know what the thing is? I didn't want to put a new one in because I think that. Well, anyway, I'll we might. It's not worth putting a new one in where we are right now. It's just not worth it. So I didn't want to spend like I want to spend like thousands of dollars putting in a new like gas heater. So I'm like, if we can just keep this one going for another year or two, that would be awesome. That like the third time when it didn't work, I called him. I'm like, he's like, bro, look, I can come again, but it's like it's old, it's temperamental, and I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna try myself, and I ended up fixing it. So
really, are you kidding? Did
that
you
is
pay $600 and fix it yourself?
No, he actually changed no, he changed a piece, and I've got the old piece as well. So, and he showed me it was faulty. It's like there was something that was making it fuck up. But they've got a circuit board in them, and I just took out the circuit board. I'm just like, this is just like, servicing a computer. I took out the circuit board and like cleaned it all, like got all the dust off it and stuff, and just put everything like all the connector points like were a little bit oxidized. So I just like cleaned them all up, and 'cause it's pretty old. It's probably about 15 years old, this thing. And then it got it working. So it's been working. But I'm expecting it not to work. One morning I'll wake up and it won't be on.
You can't survive in Melbourne without a heater. Like,
what if you just had
can't.
a room full of validators? It would be warm in there.
Yeah, man.
It would
Are
be.
you willing to donate the Pulse? I'll do it. I'll do it, man.
Is everyone a validator here?
Hey, thanks for the soup.
Sorry.
Alan.
He's always handing out super chats. He's a good fella.
Thanks, Alan.
Yep. Thank you. So I've got a meme coin version of heating systems. Yes, I need a PulseChain heating system for sure. Maybe that validator idea isn't so terrible. Jaxie, you're doing it, aren't you? You're validating.
Yeah, I think you're going to be still cold, mate. They don't generate much heat, these things. You'll just have a lot less room in your house.
And we'll know where all the pulse is.
All your pulse. We'll know where all your pulse is, bro.
I don't have any pulse.
Man.
So you're gonna have to put a few more stickers on your ute now, Mayo.
Well, I had a thought today. Just wrapping the. What if I just drove out one day in the missus car and then came back and it was fully wrapped in PulseChain and didn't say anything? Yeah, I'm looking at getting another car anyway, so I'll probably put it on the next car.
That's been good advertising, that one.
Still not. Yeah, it's definitely a conversation starter on site, and I've already had someone. Multiple people. I had an apprentice I taught how to do it all the other day. He was loving it. Yep. Someone I've worked with on the site previously texted me today as well. Yeah. How do I get it?
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, like
it's easy. It's easy. All you got to do is just click a few buttons and you got it. I don't see what it is.
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna get easier now too.
Yeah.
Now that we've got a little bit more control over the chain and everything, and where it gets on the on ramps, I reckon we'll get a
and Coast is going to have their on-off ramp done pretty soon. So,
what do you know about Coast? T-Bird, tell us about what Coast is, because they're basically preaching the good word, saying that they're.
What do you got there? Is that a vape?
Yeah, I got 2 vapes. I like to.
I thought it was
mango, guava,
and first.
No, I last waited at the smoke shop for cigars because I was going to buy some for today. I didn't have any, but that's probably a good thing because I've quit smoking and I'm now vaping. But yeah, this is the 2 vapes I get. But what were you saying about Coast? Like they reckon they're like the best thing to.
Yeah, so I recommend people going to. They've actually got a YouTube channel. And they've recently put out an update video that goes for about 7 minutes, and that gives you like a summary breakdown of the latest with their development with with what they're doing with their on-off ramp.
What are they?
I actually happened to catch him on a Twitter Spaces yesterday or the day before, and he was taking a few questions. It was very spontaneous, and like him and his team are doing a fucking amazing job with the quality of the on-off ramp service that they're going to provide for making it really easy to get in and out of PulseChain. It's going to be, I think, sort of similar to how the Trust token platform works in terms of how you mint and redeem stable coins on that platform. But it's primarily for the PulseChain and HEX community, and he's even putting in a feature where you can actually burn HEX on there as well.
Nice.
It's going to be interesting.
Shit, I reckon the OA should burn a shit ton of HEX. Like, how good would that be for HEX if they burn a shit ton?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that it does need the price though.
Yeah.
I reckon it can be used better, I think.
Burning alone.
Even every time Hedron pumps, burns Hedron, the price pumps.
Yeah, don't know.
It's not pumping right now. Maybe you should burn some.
Neither is HEX price. Neither is HEX price, bro. Like,
he just needs to burn some.
I can't
burn some
wait
HEX
to
as
see
well.
the
Then
HEX price. On the
let's
other
just have a
side,
big bonfire.
I want to see it go up, man. My bag's just freaking sunk.
It's very much a big payday sort of feel about it, isn't it?
Definitely, that's a fork. Like I did a stream today on TikTok with Crypto Grammy, right? And she had this guy in crypto come and goes and like, how's your HEX bags going? Like, obviously he was a HEX hater, and this is public. And I said, yeah, they're going great, mate. He goes, yeah, I see that HEX price dumped right out. I said, well, that's what you can expect on a fork. On a fork, or a stock split, you will see it go right down. But we don't know the price on the other side. And when he left the stream, he said, have fun with your HEX, girl. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. People
Speaking
like
of
that.
the HEX haters, did you see, check Telegram 43, did you see the picture I posted of the apology?
Yeah,
I got so many messages on Telegram.
I follow like people, like accounts on Twitter like a hawk. Like I'm always tracking like all the different people that have come and gone in and out of the community over the years. And he's one of the people, man. He was fucking railing on Richard and the community.
Who is this? B-Bird? What's his name?
Motion Mark. He's the
Motion Mark.
He was the founder.
He was a HEX lover. What happened to him?
Yeah, well,
he launched his own project.
He launched his own project called Kira, an NFT project.
Cool. Yeah.
And yeah, he got savage.
Did he to Richard? And Richard doesn't deserve that shit. This is what I hate. How these people are best friends.
Yeah,
love Richard.
all these people are going to come crawling back and issue the apologies. And
was it ever
try to suck up?
Was it ever in doubt that this was going to launch? Did any of you guys ever have any doubt that it was?
I never did. I never
doubted.
I thought it would launch, but I thought to myself how funny it would be if it didn't. Like going to America for a HEX conference, for a PulseChain conference, if it never launched, like it'd be hilarious. But I've always loved Richard, and you know what? Like he like I can't stress enough how much of a good guy he is. Like he really is doing good things for the world, and so many people hate him. And even on Crypto Grammy stream, she goes, people either love Richard or hate Richard. She loves Richard, and she's going to do a stream with him. I said, I'm looking forward to seeing that stream because Richard cares about the little people. He's, he may dress in his cute fashion, but he cares. He cares about little people.
Jexa, not only have I never doubted that PulseChain would eventually launch, apart from like this type of scenario, I thought to myself, if something were to happen to Richard, like if he was to have like apart from that sort of scenario, I thought he's definitely getting it done. But not only that, I've I've been on the phone to multiple people who that I know that sacrificed, and like laid out to them like step by step why it is absolutely so unlikely that he's just scammed everyone for money. It's like absolutely so unlikely that is the case for this reason. And I won't go through them now because I've gone through them on stream with you guys.
Yeah.
Like,
was that because they were?
times.
So did you have to do that to put them at ease, or?
Yes, yeah, I had to do that, but
Really?
like multiple conversations. Yeah, because they're not crypto people. They're not crypto people, and they sacrificed 2 years ago, like a year and whatever, almost 2 years ago, and I've had to put them at ease because they're like, we did this like 2 years ago, like we thought it was going to be a few months. You know?
2 years in crypto sounds like a long time, but if you invest in any sort of startup outside of crypto, fuck, you're talking 5 years for shit like this, right? To get sort of returns on if you're an early investor and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess their expectations, and I mean, they're not expectations that I gave them by any stretch of the imagination, but their expectations were that they thought it was going to be 3 or 4 months. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, let's face it, we all did at the beginning. I guess we all had that.
We did.
Yeah.
No expectations. No
expectations. My very first comment when he was talking about it, I said, he's fucking crazy. No one's ever going to be able to do this. There's too many things that'll break. And he's a madman for trying. But he's fucking done it. He's pulled it off. And everyone... Well, there was many people... Jeff. So there was many people that were technically pretty capable that said, before even Richard decided to do this, said Ethereum is now unforkable. It can never be forked because of the complexity and all that. And he's just basically proven that all these smart people, he's proven them all wrong.
The other thing this fork is going to do, and you know, once again, we've gone over all of this stuff on the HEX Late Show before, but I'll bring it up again. The one thing that this is really going to do is it's gonna show us which protocols on Ethereum are not actually DeFi, and not truly DeFi. Because if it's DeFi, it should just work out of the box on PulseChain. It should just work.
But if it's yes and no. Like if you need a front end for it, someone's got.
If you need a front end, but good DeFi, you can just go to the Block Explorer and connect your wallet there and use that. Right now, I mean, obviously there are some protocols that have oracles, and but the fact that you have to rely on like a third party to come up with infrastructure for you to use that protocol, that's a point of failure, and it's a glaring point of failure, and that's why you people should always be like looking at DeFi that is actually DeFi. You know, that doesn't require anyone to do anything for you, and it doesn't require anyone to get out of bed in the morning and flick a switch for it to work.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know that we stream with Richard Hart, us ladies, streamed with Richard Hart a couple of years ago, and he said 2 weeks. He said 2 weeks on stream. But you know what? Like the thing about Richard is like, you know, I mean, even I don't think he realized he was like copying the whole Ethereum state is a big job, and we've seen just how long it takes. Even he didn't know the time frame. But
people forget as well that there was a giant pivot when ETH 2.0 became a reality, and then he had to make the executive decision to fork ETH 2.0 instead of BSC. So from a technical standpoint, it hasn't taken as long as people are saying that it's taken. It's actually only since mid-September. Because when he made this, make an executive decision very quickly after ETH 2.0 consensus, and they had a look at it, and they saw that ETH 2.0 was a better consensus to fork. That's when basically the devs would have had to have started from scratch, basically.
Yeah, and they've also like forked in quite a few upgrades to Ethereum in that time since they upgraded to ETH 2.0. There's been a few upgrades. If those upgrades hadn't happened along the way, it would have been, I believe, it would have been quicker still. I think they would have got
But
it done quicker as well.
43, is Vitalik a bad actor? Is he like in this space for comedy? Like, where is the price of ETH transactions going down? Like, for him and his good words saying at the beginning of Ethereum, you know, cheap fees, that's the way to go in Ethereum. And he's done a fantastic job. Like, he's made a lot of money. And people who are mining Ethereum are making fantastic money. But that is it. That is all of Ethereum. Where is the low fees? It's ridiculous.
So do you know what the thing is, Sammy? I mean, we all want low fees. The thing is that if they can't figure out sharding and how to reduce the fees in the next 5, 6, 7 years, we might see a point where prices on PulseChain actually get expensive. That could happen as well. And in that situation, you know, you're going to be crying somewhere on a yacht, like and I'll be playing the world's smallest violin.
That's what you got to understand, Sammy. Is there's a lot of people that the fees are irrelevant to those guys that have been like all the guys in the foundation.
That's what I'm saying, Jake. Bad actor. He's a bad
no, I don't think it's bad acting. I think it's just a victim of your own success.
It's a very complex.
But how much success you want with $4,000 or $5,000 Ethereum?
Well, yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of freaking money. You know, how much
technically Ethereum is the opposite of success because they've basically been the barrier to adoption because of the gas. And ultimately, you know, without going on the conspiracy stuff, you know, the World Economic Forum pretty much has a good handle on Ethereum now, from a hierarchical standpoint. So,
but, you know, when is Vitalik never ever given a shit about anyone except himself, like Richard?
He dumps on people's heads all the time, doesn't he?
Well,
there you go.
What's going on at the moment? Are they dumping at the moment or something? I know they shifted a heap to an exchange.
Yeah, he did 5. Wasn't it 5 and 15,000 ETH?
I think the foundation done a heap, didn't they?
Yeah, 15,000.
Can I ask you guys, what do you think? Like in 2.5 years, Ethereum did a 10,000x, right? So, what do you think PulseChain is going to do in 2.5 years? This is what I think. I think this is what I think it's going to do right here.
Is that tickling my ball sack?
I want to tickle too.
Not for all the money in the world, mate.
What about for all the pulse validators?
I have to think about that one. I have to sleep on it.
Well, Richard Hart seems to do it. PulseChain can do exactly the same as Eve. 14,000x, 10,000x would be good enough.
Well,
10,000x would be
about
$1.
Hold, people.
Yeah, $1 policy.
It is too.
I suppose it depends on the adoption, doesn't it? How long can all these diamond-handed people hold the X's?
There's not that many sacrifices in PulseChain.
Yeah, was it 41,000 wallets? But how many are the same person?
Wallets. Well, I'm
right?
6 or 7 of those wallets right there. So, you know, like I'm a Hexagon. I like AIRDROP, so I'm gonna obviously sacrifice for a lot of wallets.
I reckon by the time we get to the euphoria of 2025, top of this coming bull cycle, anyone at that point it is going to greatly diminish the people that care about Ethereum by that point, and they're probably going to rotate, like whoever does manage to, make some gains at the top there, are going to rotate it all into PulseChain by that point. So the bear cycle, the following bear cycle after this coming bull, I don't see, and that will basically. That'll be ETH's third bull in its historic, in the context of, historical analysis. So like anyone that's got like, that wants to like really like make some waves in their own financial freedom, it makes no logical sense whatsoever to give a shit about Ethereum come the next bear. That's just my take. Like Ethereum, but this is basically this bull cycle for Ethereum is like the last hurrah, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the money will rotate.
But
then there's going to be a lot of new money coming in.
I think.
I know there are whales with shit tons of Ethereum that are going to be aching to ape into PulseChain once the bridge is open.
Aching apes. They've all got blue balls. I mean, waiting to.
They're going to FOMO hard.
Yeah, I mean, how many of them doubted at the start, and then when they see it actually working, they're going to go, "Well, fuck, I better get in now."
No, it's been interesting to watch the whole influencer scene change over the last.
Rotate the narrative.
Yeah. They're all gone into pump their bags mode.
Yeah, they weren't talking about PulseChain when they were sacking. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, that was pretty low key. I think they might have mentioned it, but not really promoted it that much. Now it's like Ivan. It's a daily thing, and Ran. I mean, he just done a big stream on it as well. So I think old BitBoy was too busy pumping his frog coins and whatever, so he's back to his old habits.
I think now that Ivan and Mason have come out and just emphatically, supported it, the rest of them are just basically just jumping on the bandwagon.
No, it's always going to be the way where the very cliquey little group, and you need someone's got to step forward and take the slings and arrows, and then when the heat dies down, everyone can then start gradually talking about it without the second or third people. They're not going to get as hammered. It was always going to play out like that.
Yeah.
And I think we're still seeing that with HEX as well. Like that's had a harder journey to try and get more acceptance now because of the amount of heat it got at the beginning. But that'll change as well. I think new people coming in to PulseChain and they start seeing that asset on there as well. I think they'll rotate into HEX as well on there, and it won't be as seen as dirty.
What I hope to see is that parity between EHEX and PHEX is found much sooner than people expect. And what's probably going to happen, what I'm hoping and what I think will also likely happen is everyone's going to ape into HEX on PulseChain, and that will because of liquidity bonding, that will drag HEX on Ethereum up with it.
Yeah. What I like about what you just said then is there's no doubt in your mind that parity will be found. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, because it just ARBs. There'll just be that ARB that, and also there's the APY ARB between them as well.
I don't reckon
how that plays out.
I reckon that'll get equalized.
Yeah, I do too. I agree. Mostly because as the amount of people, the less people that come into HEX on Ethereum to stake, the higher the APY, the higher the APYs will be.
I've got a slightly different theory, and I don't know whether it'll play out like this. If we go back on you want a mechanism where you can take your value of your existing EHEX and put it into a better environment where it's treated better on PulseChain. So if you make that happen, then people take their EHEX, convert it into PHEX or into the native HEX on PulseChain and take it across. So then you end up with less people staking on Ethereum, which means higher APY.
Yep.
But there's an entity that can reduce that back down. So because what you don't want to do is let that APY get too great.
Too much.
Yeah, because then it'll take value from PulseChain back across where you don't want it. So you want to encourage value to move over to your chain.
That's right. That's a good point.
So you're postulating that the OA may increase stakes on the Ethereum side to reduce the payouts.
If you wanted to encourage value to migrate to your thing, what would you do?
That's an easy
I'll
way
do
to
that.
It's logical. Makes sense to me.
Don't know if
I mentioned something. I mentioned something along these lines a while back, and I agree. I agree that is a play. That's a tool in the OA's arsenal, for sure.
So is it free market? I don't know. That's debatable, but everything's visible and you can see what's going on, and it's not harming anyone. It's just encouraging particular behavior. So yeah, I think it's a reasonable thing to do.
And it's very light. And if the OA's behavior is anything they go by, that anything that's staked and minted will not get sold anyway. So it ends up just being
yeah, that's right. But yeah, eventually you could just see a natural migration across over, because you'd need to be able to allow that over many years now, like 15 plus years. So something that could be managed ongoing. Time will tell, though. Time will tell. I could be very, very wrong.
So Icosa is doing amazingly well. Why do you guys think Icosa is doing so great?
As in price-wise or just in general?
Price-wise and in general.
Well, it got smashed as well, though, didn't it?
Hasn't it got smashed down? Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything got smashed.
Did you get smashed today?
Yeah, it's about the same. Like 41% for HEX, 39% Hedron, Icosa. Where's Icosa? 37%. Yeah, I think they move in unison.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah.
Tangent was saying today that he had like a small bag that he added for liquidity. And I said, Tangent, why don't you pull out? You know what's for? But he's like, it's only a small bag. But yeah, he got freaking. He said, this is his words. He got ass raped.
No lube.
No lube. He lost fucking everything. He just got freaking hammered.
Okay. All right.
Obviously, the pulse to ETH ratio was so shit.
Yeah, I know nothing about what happened, but I seen a tweet from Somi where someone blew up their pulse bag already.
Yes, I saw that.
They provided.
I was on Spaces. With Tangent. Like, we were having this conversation where someone's made their own liquidity and lost their fucking whole bag. What a douchebag.
So I couldn't quite understand what he'd done. Something that he'd bridged over, or not bridged over, but he'd done something with USDC or set up a liquidity pool. And
he created his own pair. He created his own liquidity and sold against himself. So he fucked himself.
Yeah, why? That's what I don't get. Why would you sell against yourself?
This is why, Jexter, because people don't understand that side of
called financial Darwinism. That's what it's called. Financial Darwinism.
I don't know what he was expecting.
Yeah, so he lost.
How big was the bag that he lost?
It's so sad.
I should meme it. I might actually meme that.
I'll have a look and see what it was. It was a substantial amount, I think. Have you found it, or
is this?
I don't know how much he had.
Yeah, it was a Somi one.
Your friend Somi tweeted it today. If anyone,
he's all our friend. I mean, he's all our friend.
Yeah, he's all our friend. But my phone is is dead for the second time today because I've been answering that many messages about PulseChain. Like I've got no idea of it.
I'm not sure if it tells you how much.
It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say an amount.
Doesn't say how much, but yeah, he basically sold against himself and fucked himself over.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like, if you don't have the experience, that's why I say, if you got a question, no question is too silly. Semi-cheeky, your girl is willing to answer, because I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. And you know what I do know? I like to share it for free. Hit me up.
If you don't know something, just don't do anything.
If you don't understand the mechanics behind that sort of shit, you shouldn't be doing it.
True.
Nice.
Are you talking that guy who did the liquidity pool thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think through what the actual original intent was. So he's set up a liquidity pool with a token that you know is probably going to go to zero or is worthless, bonded with his pulse. So he would have had to bond a fuck ton of it, because the value of that ratio would have been way down. So you would have had to.
And it wasn't reversible. Apparently, by the commenters, it wasn't reversible. So even if you swapped into you and sold against yourself, you couldn't sell that back, apparently. Crypto Class, how are you, baby? How are you, baby? Good to see you. HEX price predictions, baby. 11 cents in 3 days, maybe 4 days.
11 cents.
11 cents?
Wow.
I hope you're right. Sammy.
I'd like to see 20 cents. I'd like to see 20 cents, to be honest.
20 cents for Pulse, did you say? Oh, PHEX.
PHEX.
Yeah.
PulseX. Brendan. Wow, that buy and burn is going crazy.
What's for me, what's going to be really interesting to watch is if the FOMO into Pulse in the first, like from when the bridges open is expected, will the pump in PLS pump HEX on PulseChain and Ethereum as well?
It should
pump. I hope so.
If everything's bound together, it should all fly up.
Yeah.
You see Johnny?
I guess if it doesn't, then Johnny's in for a hiding.
Did you see that tweet he done? You see that
Johnny's never fucking wrong.
That tweet he done explained it really well. Like, he just had like 4 pictures of the bondings and things like that. It was a very simple little picture that makes sense. So if the thing that can float that these tokens can float against is a stable coin, but they're bound in every other way, makes sense. I hope it's right. Yeah, it's going to be fun times.
Johnny Chaos. Let's just take a minute. I really like Johnny Chaos and his tweets. He's very down to earth. Yeah. He's a HEX bull. And I really love his take on it. He doesn't give a shit what any motherfucker has to say to him. He gets it out there, and he doesn't give a shit. And the thing I love about him is a family man. He's been married for years, and he's got a very happy family and a business. And I've got to hand it to him. He's a very good man, and I wish him the best of successes. The funny thing about Johnny is I remember we did a stream. I remember it was Motley Investors Retirement. We did a stream, and he was on there, and it was funny because we were talking about he sold like 10 million HEX because his vehicle needed a new motor, and I work in the motor industry, so I know these things cost a lot of money, and it's usually very unexpected. So he sold 10 million HEX for this motor in his car, and I'm thinking the same thing. I looked at my experience, thought of his experience, thought, shit, like, selling HEX so cheap for something so simple, and like. And then that HEX would have been worth like $5 million. It's incredible, like crypto, these stories. But Johnny always has something grounded, wholesome, and solid to say. I
love his analogies he does. Is it analogies? Yeah, analogies he does. I think it's analogy.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yep.
Because he's
Johnny's been on the stream with us a number of times.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I've been in a couple with him, lucky enough. I just feel like I'm not smart enough when I'm around him, but
Oh, it's because he forced it down your throat. Because he's right.
yeah,
The thing is,
he's so well spoken.
he's been there, seen it all, done it. He knows what he's talking about.
Makes you feel like a peanut brain, eh?
We never got that debate. We never got that debate between Somi and Tangent.
Oh, I think it will happen eventually. It will happen eventually, but yeah, Somi's made it clear that he's not too, just for now, he's not keen on doing the circuit with the streams and whatnot, but he will eventually.
And
I think
Somi's got his own niche. Somi's got
he's
his own niche, and it's awesome. I love Somi.
Do you think that now, like since PulseChain has launched, now it's sort of like the debate is not really relevant. It's no longer relevant.
I can't even remember what the debate was going to be about.
It was about whether.
Look at T-Bear's mug. T-Bear, show him your mug. That's so freaking cool. I fucking love it. That's
Cheers
awesome.
of Hexators. The debate was going to be whether the launch was being timed or whether it was just like the devs. The devs doing what they do.
Which side were they each taking?
Somi was on the timing side. Tangent originally was on the timing side, but flipped to say it's no longer a timing thing. And I think I was never on the timing side. I think he just wanted the shit out whenever as soon as he could. Just took a lot longer, but timing actually has probably worked out pretty okay in the end. Would have been nice probably 6 months ago, but so be it.
What if? Do you think when he said mid-May last year, and he didn't make mid-May, he just went, "Oh fuck it, we'll have a break for 6 months and then we'll make it next May."
Probably. You know how many people said that back then?
It is mid-May.
He's got to go and do the outrage marketing and come back for next May.
Wales only fully thought that. I remember him thinking that. I'm thinking like, bro, what are you talking about? But yeah, he was serious.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't know how much longer you guys are thinking of streaming. We're about 8 minutes away. 8 minutes away from 3 hours. I say we hit the 3 hour point and then we call it a night because I'm yawning every 10 seconds.
Yeah, you look shattered, man. You look like you're about to drop off.
Dude, I've been up since 5 o'clock, man.
It looks like your eyes aren't even open at this point.
I'm struggling.
Yeah,
I think the good thing is I think we're going to have there's going to be no shortage of good content to talk about on future streams on the Late Show because we're just going to keep seeing more things unfold each week. I reckon once we get into the zone.
We just need to bring back bitch tits and rig it against rig it against our excellence.
Yeah.
So that he can't win.
Start a segment and like 1 week pick a furu that I don't know, furu of the week that now they've been proved wrong or something, or apology of the week, or
that's nice. That's a good idea.
Narrative change or something.
Backflip of the week.
Yeah, backflip of the week. Backflipper.
What about the shut the fuck up segment with Bluey?
Yeah.
We just need Bluey to commit to coming on.
Is Bluey coming back?
It's it's just a time thing, mate. He wants to stream. He was
supposed to come on stream tonight, but he probably is still asleep because he went.
He did try. He came on. He came on for like 3 minutes, and then his
3 minutes.
He just had like he couldn't stream from a good place. It was pretty noisy, so he's just like, fuck it, I'll listen.
I love Blue Bum. I've met him in Melbourne. I've met him in Vegas, and he's a beautiful creature. Just a lovely person. We went out for dinner, and we went out to this really cool place in Vegas, and he brought me an ice cream, and he's just lovely. Blue Bum, hi Blue Bum. He's probably not watching. He's probably fast asleep. But I love all my Hexagon homies. I can't wait to meet you all in Sydney when you come down Sydney.
Yeah, we'll have to make it a big one this time, won't we, Sammy? It's been hard to get everyone
Yeah,
together.
you guys are
various
coming.
reasons.
Jax, bring your family.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll come. Yeah, no, I'll come for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And we're going to have a few days of just fun. We would deserve it. Just fun, flat out fun and crypto. That's all we're going to have.
I might have a pulse car by then, and we'll wrap it and do a road trip.
Yeah, you're coming down. You're coming down, Mayo. And Klaz and Jexa and what's Klaz's husband's name? Always forget.
Doza.
Doza's coming across. Everyone, you've all got to come over. All got to come over because it's going to be something really, lots of fun.
Hey, Hex is all over the place, man. Hex is like, it was down to 0.027. Now it's back up to 0.03. It's all over the place.
I reckon it's been pretty stable, all things considered.
Yeah?
But considering what's going on there. Obviously, it got smashed down, but it's held around that 3 cent mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing
that
well.
That wouldn't be too bad.
If you were a sell...
Have you seen the daily T-share payout? It's 8.5.
Yeah, she's
was it?
spiking. 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People just emergency ending and
people just emergency end staking.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
People
well,
seeing
if you
the
want to
dump,
know
they're
what's
not knowing
happening on
about PulseChain.
PulseChain, it's one PulseChain to 3.6 PulseX as we speak. If you were interested,
have people not learned anything from history? I think, doing emergency dumps like that, I think you're on the wrong end of it.
39 million in penalties, says Brenton.
Wow. Crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Any parting words before we wind this train wreck up?
I do.
Yeah. I have
3 words. 3 words. Suck my PulseChain.
Naughty boy.
I was waiting for that.
I've got some.
Sammy.
Thanks for watching. Love all you guys on stream and love chat. Happy post launch day. I'm so happy for you all, and I wish you all the best of success. If you got any questions, don't be afraid to message me. Put that date in your diary, 3 months away, Sydney. We're having a freaking meetup. All us Aussies are getting together, and we're going to freaking party. So, yeah, you take care and enjoy the ride. And I love Richard Hart. That's for you, Richard.
Congratulations to everyone who's here, who battled through the shit over the last couple of years, and it's going to be the next couple of years are going to be just amazing. Like what's the things that are going to happen, and how things are going to shape up leading up. It's just going to be glorious.
Because we got through the hard part of the bull of the bear, like the down. Now, like even if we don't hit all-time highs for a long time, you would think that from here we just slowly edge our way up, and that always feels better. That always feels way better than slowly edging your way down to the depths of hell.
No, just echo what T-Bird just said. Then, if you're in this chat, you've been with us the whole journey over the last couple of years, so you deserve to be here. When people say you got lucky when things go well, they don't understand what you've had to endure for that luck. It's been we've had a double whammy in this community. We've had the bear market where everyone gets smashed down, but then we've had peak FUD from every direction as well. So if you've hung around and you still all got your chin up and still around, you've done well and you deserve what's coming your way.
The beauty about there is a beauty to FUD. There is a beauty to it. And the beauty is that if by chance your token and community survive and continue just to march on forward through that FUD, it just makes a community stronger, and it makes like the whole ecosystem around that around that token stronger.
Yep.
So, and I think that's what HEX has experienced, and PulseChain is just it's just this. It's just gonna. I think it's just gonna make the whole ecosystem for HEX stronger. I think it's all about HEX for me, from my perspective. It's all about HEX.
Yep.
Absolutely. But you know what? There's so many good people. I'm not saying everyone is good. We've all had our run-ins on Twitter. You know, we've all had our run-ins on social media. We don't like everybody. There is some really good people in HEX and PulseChain. And people want to help you, and people want to be friends with you. So reach out. You know, join the community. Be part of it. We're making history right now, launching PulseChain. You know, and we appreciate your support, everyone's support.
Maya?
Don't sleep on it. No, you pretty much said it all.
All right.
I'm zoning out.
Okay, guys. I'm shutting this thing down. Peace.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Good night.
Congrats.